You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
It's the multiverse, extra timelines, variant selves, despotic tyrants from other dimensions. Well, it can all be quite confusing, but we at Imagine If are here to be your guides. Every week we give you the deep dive on all the new characters showing up on the small and big screen. Then, we also show you the alternate realities we create with the stories you already know about. And don't forget, we catch you up on all the new comic books coming out that week so you don't get left behind. Tune in every Wednesday on your podcatcher for Imagine If on the Geek Elite Media Network. And always remember to geek out.
Welcome, everybody, to We Have Issues, Geek Elite Media show that's about everything literary. Books, comic books, webcomics, manga, and everything else you might be reading. We're here to talk about it. I'm your host, Keith, and I'm joined by my stalwart sidekick, who's always at my side, Josue.
Hello, hello, and hello. There's my volume. I couldn't really hear myself. So I again have to start off by saying a huge shout out, thank you to our good boy, a good friend, Steven. He gave me this incredible graphic novel called The New World. And I just had a lot of fun time reading reading this book. It's by Alice Scott and Tradd Moore, who Tradd Moore did Silver Surfer Black. So that art style just like really was just such a perfect setting for the sci-fi world, where it's about some coppers and thieves that fall in love in this like really cool setting, and they just like bring down the system. At least like they try to, and it just made for a really fun story. So I really recommend The New World.
Yes, definitely. That looks really cool. I kind of want to pick it up myself. So.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, we're here to talk about comics. Before we do, we're going to talk a bit about comic book news. I have a couple different things here. I'm going to start with, obviously, happy Free Comic Book Day, everybody.
Yes.
Hope you had a good day. Hope you picked up a lot of stuff. We're not going to talk too much about that because it was pretty uneventful, although Josue did get to volunteer at one of his favorite shops.
I did. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seemed like it. You posted on Twitter a bunch of stuff, so that looked like it was a lot of fun. So. But we're going to talk about news, and we got a bunch of stuff coming out. The first thing is an announcement from Boom Studios about a new limited series called Power Rangers Universe. We don't have a writer yet, but the artist is Simone Ragazzoni, and it's going to, from what they've told us, it's going to explore the biggest mysteries, secrets, and origins in Ranger mythology, and specifically with the spotlight on the Phantom Ranger and exploring their origin, how they're attached to the Morphin Grid and everything. So that's pretty cool. We're starting to fill in the mythology of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you're more of a Rangers fan. You're a Sentai fan more so than I am. So
I do love my Sentais. And I kind of like how Sentai is its own thing out in Japan. But for us as Power Rangers, like we have this sense of continuity where we have to fill in all these gaps where like Sentai to Sentai to Sentai, they have like really no connection to one another. They're all their own one-off series. So to kind of like have these stories to kind of actually connect them, that's what makes it kind of interesting over on the, I guess, like on the west side.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool. And like I said, getting the origin stuff. And I know you really liked the one that came out recently.
Yeah. Power Rangers Unlimited about the Phantom Ranger and his
Phantom Ranger. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So looking forward to that. They also, Marvel has revealed a new design for one of my favorite MCU characters, but in the comics in this case, design. And that is M'Baku. I love M'Baku.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character in all the Black Panther franchise. He's funny. So plus, I mean, the actor that plays him is incredible. So
hell yeah.
Wakanda's getting pulled into the Last Annihilation, which we'll talk about later, by the way.
Okay.
So the intergalactic empire of Wakanda is going to enter the battle against Dormammu. And T'Challa can't do it alone, so he has to enlist the use or the friendship of M'Baku, who many would know who was actually a villain of T'Challa's in the comics. So I think they're trying to MCU him in the comics, which I think is a really cool idea. But they had a new design. They released a sketch, and I think that looks pretty sick.
He actually looks a lot cooler than the MCU. I'll tell you that much. Because back then he was the one that he would just rock that white gorilla skin over himself, and he was just like super underutilized. Like there's really nothing.
Look at the gauntlet
going for him. But that is really cool. Like actually, like him rocking some Wakanda gear. That's really cool.
Yeah, and then they did provide a preview of a comic, and he is in the preview, and so you can see it there.
Okay, he actually looks really cool.
He looks sick, dude. I love him.
Like him.
Yeah. I know when we talked about when Chadwick passed.
Yes.
We were talking about like who could possibly be Black Panther at this point, and my head said Okoye, but my heart said M'Baku. Like I really wanted him to be Black Panther, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, like
now. With that major news out of the way, we'll just talk about the little side news. The comics world is completely changing, and maybe for the worse. We'll see. We're not sure yet. Multiple creators have announced that they are going to be joining Substack, which is a newsletter platform, and they'll be releasing their creator-owned IPs through Substack. Some of them still have obligations with Marvel and DC that it sounds like they're going to be continuing in most cases. There are a few that are kind of like, what's going on here? One of those is it's just okay. Chip Zdarsky.
Yep.
We're big fans of.
Yep.
We don't know what's happening with Daredevil, basically, because it seems like it's ending, but Marvel's teasing the next step in Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto's Daredevil, implying that they're going to still be there. I don't know what that's going to look like. I personally think they should rebrand the title as Daredevils, because Elektra's Daredevil now, too.
Right.
And if there can be 2 Hawkeyes, if there can be 3 Spider-Man and shit, like why not? You know what I mean? Like,
and we're already kind of throwing out the title right now for the MCU with the Marvels.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that's it, because they're doing a killer job.
They're doing an amazing job, and to just wrap it up in 3 issues? We're already past 30, and it's ending in 36. Apparently there's a wedding that we were kind of expecting, and I guess now we're rushing it. Matt is still in prison, and there's still two Daredevils to deal with, and also with the whole stick prophecy on like who gets to deal with the hand, and one of them has to go down. That's all too rushed. That's like really 3-4 volumes worth. Like this should have been a much longer run, and I really didn't really have a mind to the whole Substack thing until apparently we're losing Daredevil, and that's where it hurt. That's where it got personal.
Yeah, because I mean we had a major DC announcement as well.
Yeah.
But that one less important to me, but yeah.
And only because at the same time, it's like, there's no way he would actually end his great indies. It was like, cool, if he's going to leave Batman, whatever, good for him. But now it's just like, now I got personal. It's like, oh my God, karma went around and came back fucking harder.
Yeah. Along the lines of that is an announcement that people thought was about Substack, but apparently is not. Jonathan Hickman is stepping down as head of X.
Yeah.
And if Marvel's listening, I'd be happy to take over. You got to shoot your shot, you know? So the man who basically rejuvenated the X-Men and made them the most important thing in comics is stepping down. Apparently this was the plan all along.
Okay.
It was going to be a 3-event run for him. He was going to do House of X. He was going to do 10 of Swords. And end it with Inferno. That was the whole plan all along.
And then pass the
torch. He said someone else is going to step in. Real quick, who would you like to see to take over?
I mean, someone from Artie that's being from like the inner circle. Like they have to promote up. Don't bring someone in. It seems like it's going to be Dugan. He's kind of been getting like some of the bigger stuff. Howard, maybe.
I would like Teenie Howard to take over. I don't think it's going to be Teenie.
Right. Like, it's like she's doing like big stuff, but like they're kind of like really branching elsewhere. She's not really tackling like the main stuff like the way Dugan is. It's
personally,
mm-hmm.
I would love for it to be Kelly Thompson.
Oh, damn.
With X Factor ending,
mm-hmm.
They have plans for her. They gave her Trial of Magneto.
Wait, Leah Williams?
Leah Williams. I don't know why I said Kelly Thompson. My bad. Leah Williams, I apologize. Yeah.
No.
With her doing Trial of Magneto, with X Factor ending,
mm-hmm.
I know they want to keep her in-house. They've made a big deal out of that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with Leah Williams taking over. And then
the safe
I think all of us that are really upset about X Factor ending might feel a little bit better about it if she took over. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Especially when there were so many like unfinished stuff that she had to still say during X Factor. Dugan seems like the safe choice. If they really want to impress like the fans, Williams is the most definite choice.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there's some others out there.
Yeah, but it still has to be.
You know who was really involved in the X-Men stuff lately is Vita.
Yeah, they've been having like their few books here and there.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be Percy. He's too edgy for it to be like the head of X, and they're doing a good thing here.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like I think back to the Comic-Con panel.
Mm-hmm.
Who is at the Comic-Con panel?
Oh,
that's going to be who's important.
Oh, for sure. It has to be one of them. And Hickman wasn't there to answer any questions, so I think it has to be one of those faces.
That's what I'm thinking too. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be somebody transferred over from.
Yeah, you know what?
Marvel,
I mean, like, I now I'm really
Al Ewing.
Oof, yeah. But I'm really drawn to the Leah Williams. It's kind of like, why would she? I mean, obviously, it's like it's Marvel's ultimate choice, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we need you to cancel or wrap up X Factor. Why the fuck would I do that? Because we might want to give you the seat for head of X.
Yeah, I don't want to get my. I
know, but it's just like I'm trying to like pieces like how this could make sense. But yeah, those are my definitely two choices, and Vita for sure up there.
Yeah. So the good news is, like I said, Hickman's not going to Substack.
Yeah.
He said that basically he's moving on to quote his next big Marvel thing. So let the speculation begin. I don't even.
Who doesn't have a book right now? Ghost Rider?
No, I think it's bigger than that.
It's
got to be an event.
Oh,
you don't take Hickman off as head of X to put him on Ghost Rider. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I know. I'm just like that's my personal.
That's what I'm like.
That's my favorite. Like that's my just little fan favorite speculation.
My theories are two parts. Either he's going to take over Avengers
again
and do something big with it
again. He went pretty fucking huge last time.
I'm trying to think. They want to recover Avengers because Avengers comics wise was taking a big hit. No one really cares.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Anymore. The other thing I thought is, what if he takes over Marvel Cosmic?
Ooh, while Al comes back to being grounded on Earth with some projects like that.
Yeah. We got Sword.
Mm-hmm.
We got Guardians. We got a bunch of other stuff established throughout other books, like
he's coming over to Venom,
Republic of Wakanda.
Yeah,
we got the whole Chameleon Snark War stuff going on. There's a lot being teased.
Yeah. So,
and a lot of it was set up under the X-Men books under him. So we'll see. And the other big news is this is kind of cool, and this is something I'm actually excited about. And one of the instances where we can talk about DC in a really good light, which I love doing. DC has a partnership with Webtoon.
That's cool.
And I'm a big Webtoon fan. They haven't announced exactly what's going to happen, but basically they're going to have a Webtoon series on Webtoon featuring DC characters. And that's fucking awesome. Like, that's a really cool thing to do. I know that Webtoon already has, famously, a partnership with Legendary, but also with POW and with Image a bit too. So, and there's been several of them nominated for Eisner Awards. So, I think that's really cool. I'm curious to see what form that takes.
Right, like definitely what books they push out that way. Like, I hope they don't do. If they go with Webtoons, please don't put out more Batman books that way.
Oh, it'd be a Batman book.
Like, I hope not. At least, like, not Bruce books. Like, give me any of the other Bat family, but just don't use that as another Batman outlet. That would actually be
a really good realm for Batman Beyond.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, I'll take that one.
Like, because the way it is one long like picture, and you keep scrolling down. I think that would be really cool. So, but yeah, so that's all the news I got. Josue, you got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, like, just adding a little bit more to like the Substack thing. Just the worst tweet I saw was, "What if Sokka comes back through Substack?" And I was like, "Please don't."
Oh God, I saw that too. I was like that's worst case scenario.
And it sucks because BKV is just so goddamn quiet. So I don't know what he thinks about this whole thing, what his opinion is. So I was like, fuck.
Seriously. Let's not put that out in the world.
Please no, yeah.
All right. So we are going to talk about our comics for the week. And boy, do we have a stack.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of light weeks, but I think it's come back with a vengeance. And when it came back with a vengeance, it landed with a boom.
Nice.
Talking about Boom Studios to start off with. And we got a couple of Boom books. So I'm going to start off with my solo books. First of all, Firefly, brand new verse. This is number 6, so it's the end of the arc, actually. And it was pretty satisfying, I will say. And it also... We finally got an idea of the meaning behind the name, so we'll get to that in a sec.
Ooh, okay.
Written by Josh Lee Gordon, illustrated by Fabiana Mascolo, colored by Lucia Dion-Gimerino, and letter by Jim Campbell. So the main thing is the second generation of Firefly people have found this girl who was in a ship from Earth, a ark with a bunch of people frozen that were being sent out. Well, it turns out this girl and her people were being sent to a different universe, a different system.
Oh, damn.
And they were being sent there because it's rich with all the materials and stuff like that. Well, no one knows where this system was. So the bad guys are trying to find the Ark so they can find out where the system is so they can go plunder it for all of its minerals and stuff. So that's kind of where brand new verse came from. There's a new universe, basically. So, in the end, obviously they outsmarted the bad guys. But now the Firefly crew knows where it is, and they're like, what are we going to do with this? It's at least a few light years away. And they're like, yeah, there's no way we're going to get there without being frozen in cryo, basically. And they just kind of like, what are we going to do? And she's like, we do what we've always done. We go where the wind blows us. We try to make this verse a little better for who will come next. And that's the end.
Oh.
So maybe they'll do it. Maybe they won't. That'd be really cool if they go to a completely unpopulated universe. But I've really enjoyed this. I think this was a mini and I didn't know it. So I think that is the end of it. If so, it's been really good. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yep. Next Boom book is a number 1. It's called Eat the Rich, number 1.
Oh, yes. Please tell me.
Created and written by Sarah Gailey. Illustrated by Pius Back. Colored by Roman Titov. And lettered by Cardinal Ray. Okay. You're going to really like this. But, so the story is... first of all, have you ever seen the movie You're Next?
No.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, okay.
Even Liz fucking loves the movie, and she doesn't really like horror movies. But
oh, nice. Okay.
So the story is we have a young girl, and she's like just after college age, I should say. I say young girl like a dick. And she's on a trip to meet her boyfriend's family, and it turns out, and her name is Joey, by the way. Her boyfriend's name is, I think it was Astor. Yeah. So he's rich. He's crazy rich. Mm-hmm. And she was raised like middle class. She doesn't have all the rich instincts. So, so they're going to the beach house for her family or for his family to meet them. And they're going to spend the summer there. And he's basically telling her stories and all this stuff. And she's freaking out because she's like, I don't know how to act around these people. I don't know what to do. And then he starts freaking out because you find out that he's in recovery as an alcoholic. He hasn't been drinking, so he's like freaking out. He's never been around these people sober, basically.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So they show up at the beach house. She didn't know exactly how much money he had. They show up at the beach house, and this is the beach house.
Oh, shit. Nice.
It's gigantic. And it all starts off a little weird. Like, they get out of the car, and she's carrying her backpack, and one of the guys is like, one of the servants is like, "Oh, I'll take the backpack," and they're like, "No, you leave this to us. This is our job." And she's like, "Fuck!" And there's like a lot of little bits like this where she's like, "I shouldn't have done that." Like the rich people are going to think I'm common, basically.
Oh.
And there's another bit where the nanny's having a little trouble with the kid, and she's like, "If you ever need help, I can help you with him." She's like, "No, this is my job."
Ooh, yeah, fuck off.
So
yeah.
it's very much like very strict roles, And when she meets the dad of her boyfriend, he says, "You prefer scotch or champagne?" And she's like, "Oh, I'd love." And then the boyfriend interrupts. He goes, "Oh, Dad, she's not that kind of girl. She'll have a vodka tonic." And that's when she's like, "Fuck, that was a test. I almost failed the test there." And it was just kind of like interesting. And so she's just really anxious about fitting in. And they keep talking about the parties they have with the other rich people on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they do is they have retirement parties for the help, all their servants, whenever they get retired. And it's like this huge bash, and they actually have a roast where they roast all the rich people and make fun of them and stuff.
Huh.
And she's like, "This is fucking weird." And so everything's awkward, and she basically gets upset because she doesn't feel like she belongs, and she walks out. And then she goes down to the beach, and she finds someone, I believe it's her boyfriend. It's kind of like hard to tell. But one of them, no, it was an older man, sorry. The guy that's getting retired, the old butler for somebody, they stab him to death.
Shit.
And it's all the rich men. None of the women are there. They stab him to death, and they start taking him apart.
What the fuck?
And it's implied they're going to cook him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah. So she's trapped in this fucked up situation. And yeah, this is cool. Like, the rich people are killing their retired servants, and the servants have some kind of weird, like, "I have to do my job, please don't take away my job" kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
what the fuck? Okay.
yeah. I got this cover, which is a variant.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, is that Jenny Frison?
I think it is, actually. So, yes, it is. So, yeah, pretty cool. I really dig this. It's going to be an awesome thriller.
Might come back to it.
Yeah, like Your Next, if anyone out there has watched Your Next, it's kind of similar because Your Next is about a girl whose boyfriend has a rich family, and they go to his cabin in the middle of nowhere, and then a bunch of people are trying to kill the whole family, and she's the only one there with any practical skills. Turns out she was taught by her dad to be a survivalist. So she's like this awesome opposite of every other girl in a horror movie, where she's actually a legit badass.
Nice.
And is not useless and can actually take these guys. And it's just, I love that movie. It's so good. So, but yeah, really, really good. I really dug it. Definitely worth a pick up. So our last boom book is Save Yourself, number 3, written by Bones Lippard, art by Kelly Nicole Matthews, letter by Jim Campbell. So once again, this is the magical girl story where these 3 magical alien girls are saving the planet, or are they? No, they're actually shape-shifting aliens that consume humans. And their 4th sister gets away and starts helping the humans and everything. We've gone over it a couple times now. One thing, Josue, and I want to get your opinion on this. We've been talking about the magical girl thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously the comparisons to like Sailor Moon and stuff. There's also a pretty decent comparison to stuff like Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
But actually, as we get to know the 3 villains, which is what we did in this book more than any other issue so far.
Yeah.
The thing that popped in my head was Hocus Pocus.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
They come off like the witches from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, for sure. With their each own personalities. Oh, I definitely got that.
Especially
Especially
the blonde,
just them being
especially,
the trio. Mm-hmm.
like she's kind of clueless, but always hungry and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
I was just like, like, so I really dig it though. Like, it's really cool. I love the main character. It's obviously got a little bit of a cheek to it, like a girl on roller skates escaping alien monsters. It's kind of funny, but I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. And
but never like handholdy. Yeah. Like, I love how it's a boombox book, but it's like, God damn it, it's just like, yo, we're just telling the story, and these are the people that we're gonna that are in it. So like, too bad. And I fucking love the relationship between the main character and the brother's husband. Like, yeah. I love how close they are. And it's obviously it's never gonna be weird, but it's like I love just like be between their shared loss. It's just like that's just like what made them stronger. Being together, it's like you're never gonna forget that one person. So Yeah, I just don't want to see this book go. I love it's like I think it's like a mini.
Yeah, isn't there like one issue left?
I think I've been seeing out of 4 as well, and I don't want to see this book go. I feel like it's just hitting its stride right now, and it's like don't end it for me.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really digging it. It's it's just fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we'll see. So that actually reminded me, by the way.
It's very charming.
Yes, exactly. Charming is a good word. So we have, this is something I was going to bring up in news and I completely forgot. You might remember the book that we really like, Alice in Leatherland from Black Mask.
Yeah.
So Black Mask made an announcement. Did you see it the other day?
No.
So there's only one issue of Alice in Leatherland left.
Yeah.
However, the creator of it, Yolanda Zanfardino, has a new book coming in November.
Ooh, excellent.
And it's called Hecate's Will. And it's about a legendary New York City graffiti artist who has decided to retire and abandon her mission of changing the world through art. But before she quits, she's going to create one final street art experience, a graffiti scavenger hunt through the streets of Manhattan that will lead her fans to a final message and artistic testament.
Aw.
So it looks really, really cool. Right now, I'm actually going to send you a link so you can see the art.
I actually really like. That's such a great pitch.
Yeah, and then it's also like she gets roped into working on a rock musical. Like it seems like the kind of Black Mask stuff we've been really enjoying.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just sent you a link if you want to look at the art. It looks cool. It looks like on par with everything else Black Mask we've been reading.
Oh my god, that really. If it's the variant, the girl behind her looks like Alice.
Yeah, she looks a lot like her, right?
Like down to like the cut, like the side cut and everything. Oh my god.
Yeah.
If there's like a shared universe thing, oh my god, this would be so fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So
absolutely.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there as well before I forget. So we're going to move on, and we are going to talk about a different publisher now, and we're going to talk about Vault Comics.
Ooh.
We only got the one Vault book this week.
Yes.
But it is a finale.
Yeah.
Hollow Heart number 6, brought to us by Paula Lohr and Paul Tucker. And
the Pauls. Those damn Pauls.
The Pauls.
Those damn Pauls.
The story of Elle comes to a conclusion. Or conclusion is not even the word.
Yeah.
Comes. It comes.
Yeah, his story just still comes.
Man. This book has been an emotional ride.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it and about like Mateo and what we thought of him at first, and then what we thought of him later, and like things have changed throughout this. And just everything Elle is going through and how nothing will ever be normal for Elle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was never going to be a reality for him. It was always going to be as close to normal as they can get. And as much as this is about those characters, the emotional impact for me was with the guards when Elle attacked them and killed them. And we get the Holly died thinking about skee ball, you know, like,
oh yeah.
And I was like, fuck, like that really got me. And it's like how Donnie made a drunken pass at her and grateful Donnie's death had been quick. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like I was like, this is brutal. And then in an attempt to actually end it all, that we're not going to get into too much spoilers, but let's just say this is definitely open for more story. But it's so sad.
But it's like at this point, it's like obviously I would love more. But in this case, like no, just leave my Elle alone, or like
rest.
or you know what, like I'll be the fucking bad guy too, and let me just continue being ignorant. I don't want to come back.
Yeah. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, it's heavy.
It was just like, it was so cool. Like just being like, it was like a twist, like the double twist, a fucking triple twist when you like just get to those last pages. Like, fuck me. Like, and I love the way how it opens too. It's just like, I'm a lot of stories. And that was every issue where you're just like, all right, this book was more about those, like this inner monologue, inner dialogue of a story. And then this one is like, no, let's just focus on here and now and what you feel about it afterwards.
It literally threw that right in your face immediately. Like, this isn't going to be a big metaphor thing.
Yeah. Oh man.
I was like, fuck. Like, that was really, really good.
Bravo to the Pauls. Like, right when I was kind of maybe doubting this book, but it's like, I fucking love this kind of endings.
Yeah.
So twisted.
Yeah, definitely. If they had gone with another metaphor narrative, I think it would have come off a little artsy.
Yeah. Especially when this issue alone tells like what, 2? Kind of 3 stories at once, but not really, but not getting too complicated, not getting too confusing. It's just like to tie it all up, and then to adding that kind of other metaphor would have been a little too much.
Yeah, but yeah, great job from Vault.
Absolutely,
definitely need some more books from Vault soon. So
yes.
Next up, we're going to talk about Dark Horse Comics. We got 2 books. I got a solo book, Rangers of the Divide #4.
Okay,
everything by Megan Huang.
Ooh, nice.
This book was so good. This really turned this series around, and I think this opens it up to a bigger audience, because I think it came off kind of like we talked about it before, Avatar: The Last Airbender kind of like age thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so you got the commander dude, and he's been preparing these kids on this trip for what's coming, and we actually get some of his background where he sees his daughter and finds out he trained his daughter as well, and apparently she didn't make it, basically. So they're traveling, and he's like, yeah, we need to go. Let's move out. They're flying over the plains. I'm like, wow, it's beautiful. And then the dragon of one of the girls is like reacting. She's like, what? What's that? And she hears thud, thud, thud. She looks behind her and sees this shit running at her.
Whoa. Oh, okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's huge. It's gigantic.
Okay.
So they're like, what the fuck? And the commander's like split up immediately. Like, so, and literally he's like, don't fight it. Like, they say, is it hostile? Yes, very. How do we kill it? We don't. Whew. And you're like, oh shit. And he's like, stay out of the Juggernaut's way. They're like, what the fuck's a Juggernaut, basically? And it's chasing them. And one of them goes down. The brother of the 2 twins that have been involved in a couple of the stories. He goes down, and the Juggernaut reaches down, grabs him, and just crushes him in his hand. And it's the first time we lost one of the characters.
Oh damn! Ooh.
Yeah. And of course the sister's upset and everything, and the Juggernaut just basically tosses him and is like, fuck it. Like, and you find out that basically these cadets have kind of been kept from a lot of the truth. And he basically tells them what's going on. And he's like, it's time. I can't keep this any longer. After the hell I put them through, they deserve to know. He says, the Juggernauts are a level 5 threat. They swept through the land before, destroying everything, including cities on either side of the border. Our brothers and sisters deployed to the nation of Vale to defend the city of Nalay. They fought hard, but they could not defeat the Juggernauts. Nalay has already fallen. Our rangers have fallen. The few have retreated to Pretoria. We're not going there to repair. We're going there to stop another total annihilation. I failed to stop them before. Before, yes, in another timeline.
Whoa.
Yeah. It just took a hard turn for the anime.
That's dope.
Like, yeah, it's really cool. Like, I'm really enjoying that. So, and it's getting, obviously there's going to be some comparisons to Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool, and I prefer the design of these than the design of the Titans. The Titans freak me out a little bit. I don't really like looking at them.
Yeah, they're a little like those just giant teeth. Or like those many teeth.
And they're naked. I don't like the naked.
But this just got interesting so much quicker. I mean, you don't get a Talking Titan until like season 3.
Yeah, so. And then our other Dark Horse book is a art.
Oh, God, I love this issue.
And it's brought to us by one of our best boys.
Yes.
Created and written by David M. Booher. Art by Claudia Balboni. Colored by Harry Saxon. And letter by Lucas Gattoni. We are talking about Killer Queens #1.
Killer Queens, baby. God,
and the tagline will say it all, putting the sass in assassin. Yes, that's very much it. So I got this cover.
Oh, nice. I got one with cover A.
Yeah. So, this is our first book for David since Kanto has started, basically.
Yeah.
His first chance to do something a little different. And it's a lot of fun. It's very adult. It's very goofy.
It's so gay.
It's super gay. I
love it.
I just love it. It's like gay's the default in this world, basically, which I love. So,
they go on the all women planet, and the guy is just like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. I love the monkey gangster, Captain Bietti.
Mm-hmm.
He's funny. I like all the animal characters. What was it?
His henchmen, the Otters.
The Otters, yeah, that's right. Hench Otters.
Otters are cute, but if you get into otter videos, you get in a wormhole that they're actually kind of fucked up. So it's actually really cool that they're henchmen.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And they obviously stole his ship. I fucking love this page right here.
Oh, yes.
With Captain Bietti, where he's just yelling at them and they mute him, and he's like, holds up a sign, "Did you just cut my audio?" And he flips them off. I'm like, yes. It's so good. All I wanted was my ship back. And yeah.
And
it's just it's
the ship being rainbow. The ship they steal, it's not like they're gay, so obviously their ship has to be rainbow. No, they steal the rainbow ship. I fucking love it.
It's just an awesome adventure. Through space. And it's super gay, which is amazing.
It has to be a fucking mini. Why? It's ongoing, David.
We'll see. Let it sell. This is, because to be frank, I love Dark Horse, but this doesn't feel like a Dark Horse book to me.
Yeah, no, for sure it doesn't.
And so maybe it's Dark Horse trying something new.
Yeah, I can definitely I read that for sure.
Yeah. So, but we really, really thoroughly enjoyed this book. So.
One of the best first issues of the year, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just enjoyable. Nonstop gay space adventure.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing. So, yeah. Can't wait. And now we have 2 David Bowie books on the press at the same time, which we will love. So.
Mm-hmm. That's it just hit me. It's almost like Titan AE, but it was super gay.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie? I fucking love that movie.
I got really big Hitchhiker's Guide vibes. Because Hitchhiker's Guide takes place, part of it, at the restaurant at the end of the universe. And this opens in basically a restaurant.
A little diner. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's the vibe I got. Which I love. If that's an homage, well done. I love it.
Well done.
So, all right, we are going to talk about another publisher now. We're going to switch over to IDW. I got 2 books. I don't think Josue has any IDW this week.
No.
Okay. Well, the first one I have is Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures, number 7. So this is the one with the Padawans. And it's kind of gone beyond that story. The next arc has started, and it's more about the adult Jedi. So, written by Daniel Jose Older, art by Harvey Talabau, colors by Rebecca Nolte, and letter by Jake M. Wood. I don't want to get too much into it because it's actually issue 2 of this arc.
Okay.
But it is dealing with the aftermath of everything that occurred. Everything starts to lean towards the Nihil and the Hutts. That seems to be the recurring thing that's going on. But it was a lot of fun in that it opened up with a really cool story of a Jedi hero of old, Jedi Master Talbota, who'd faced down whole armies, and it was just kind of cool, this thing. They also introduced us to this character, which is really cool, Obertuck Glee, who is a Jedi, and you can kind of see just his face here.
Oh, that's a Jedi?
Yeah.
Sick.
So he looks like a mushroom dude, right?
With 3 eyes around? Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
He's thousands of years old, right?
Love it.
And later on, there's actually a bit where he's just he's like, do you know why I carry so many lightsabers? And you don't really see a full body shot of him right away. And they're like, because you have so many arms? And he's like, he laughs. He's like, no, each one of these lightsabers represents a former Padawan of mine that has since passed. Because he lived so long
Oh
that
shit!
so it's like his way of remembering them.
He's outlived them all, like just not even just through battle, but just damn. Oh my god, I love it.
And then the other people are fighting, and at one point, this droid is like about to kill somebody, and you see this shot of these lightsabers just go through it, and then slice it up, and there's the dude, right? Then we get this full page shot with all these lightsabers. So
that is
dope.
so dope. I love it.
He says, "Very well, then. What did I miss?" Like, it's just so cool. Like, I really like this. Took a really cool turn because it really came off kind of YA, which I love. But this kind of like matured it up a little bit, and I really dig that. So.
I mean, that's just like a cool concept for a Jedi of a Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just I dug it. So, next up is Bermuda 2 from IDW as well. This one is it's really good. I really like it. I'm trying to figure out who I really want to share this with because I know there are people that really like it. I think Liz would probably dig it because it's written in letter by John Layman, who created Chew.
Oh, okay.
Who's one of our favorite people to meet at cons. So.
Nice.
Art's by Nick Bradshaw and colors by Lynn O'Grady. So this is one about the Bermuda Triangle, or Triangle in this book. It's the island of Triangle, and these kids get shipwrecked on there, and this young girl whose name is Bermuda saves them, and it's a lot of fun, and I love how self-contained it is because they're literally trapped on an island. So we get a whole map of the island,
cool.
And everything. So, and you find out that they're not the only humans there. There's a whole city of pirates that like were marooned there like centuries ago, and have continued to like live there as they breed and stuff like that. So it's a whole pirate city, and there's monsters and all this stuff. And the young boy's whole motivation, one of the ones that is marooned there, is to find his sister who was taken by these slaver people. But the main character is Bermuda, who's a girl who is who's there as well. And she's like the one that knows the area, and the kid's like running into danger. She has to keep saving him and stuff like that. So I really, really like her and her character design.
Mm-hmm.
I just think she's really cool. So you can kind of get a look here.
Oh, yeah.
Like I like the hair.
Yeah.
I like the clothes a lot because she's got these shorts, but you can't see it very well. But there's buttons down the side of the shorts.
Okay.
And I think what it is they ripped, and she had to repair them, basically. Like, because obviously they wouldn't be able to just buy new clothes. You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of really cool, like almost like Nightcrawler-esque combat she does. Like this fucking kick.
Oh yeah.
Like that's sick. And just like, and all the pirates look different. So there's like one that's like, there's a monkey pirate. Like and no one asked for an explanation why there's a monkey pirate.
Okay.
So
it just is.
And then there's like a sumo wrestler dude.
What the fuck? Okay, cool.
And he's literally like trying to stop her, and she literally just tackles him out the window. So, but yeah, basically the whole plot of this one is he goes to the pirate town and gets in over his head, and she has to save him. That's basically what it is. So, but yeah, I'm really digging it. It's also here. This is actually the J. Scott Campbell cover. You can see the buttons I was talking about a little bit better on the side of her shorts.
Oh yeah, like their own personal stitch job. Yeah,
exactly. So, but yeah, I'm really digging it. It's fun, and I just love John Layman's stuff. So, but yeah, definitely worth a pickup. And it's only 2 issues in, so it's not hard to catch up. So next up, Josue, tell me about Passive Aggressive for Bad Idea.
Yeah. Hero trade, passive aggressive. In this case, just passive.
Uh-huh.
This is a 1-shot, a 1-2 shot. A 1-shot 2? Basically, you have to go out and find, or if you want to do it, quote unquote, legit, you have to send in your sticker, your over fucking price sticker, back to Bad Idea so they can mail you the aggressive other half. So this is still, or this both sides are done by Matt Kent, and finally a full issue by David Lapham, Stray Dogs David Lapham. So it's drawn, it's in black and white, and just that classic David style. I just love his bold, just very inkish style.
Mm.
It's just, I just always been gravitated towards it. This half, passive, is about this Russian dude who is basically Office Space. He works at this computer place. It's just a company. He develops this hacking formula or this algorithm, puts it in one day at work, and it's super strict because obviously you shouldn't be doing this. Or obviously just like his workspace is just super strict as well. Him and his partner are like this, I guess like you'd call it his love interest. You know, they're not really like that. It's just, I guess, like it's just his friend. She's kind of like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. He goes along with it. It turns out because they're in Russia and his whole algorithm was going to steal money from someone from anybody who's rich from in the world. Turns out he basically steals, but instead of Office Space where it's like pennies from here and there and they get a bunch of money, he actually fully bankrupts Batman. In this case, it's more like Azrael Batman, and it does not go well. With whatever little leftovers he had left, like he just ends up showing up. It's basically, this is the hero. This is the guy. And he ends up just like killing everybody. Like that's just like close to this guy. This is basically the guy. It opens up with him just being like it doesn't disclose where he is. He basically just goes to Bahamas and just like to get lost so he doesn't get found out. But he's just like forever traumatized that he can never go home or anywhere else because he's going to get found out. Now, if you got the aggressive side, you would get the other half, basically through the perspective of he's called the Watch, and you would get his point of view of him going bankrupt and then being like, and then figuring it out and going after the hunt. So I'm definitely not going to send my sticker because I'm pretty sure that sticker will be more valuable for a different book that they'll have you like send the sticker for, and this will be kind of a waste because it's just a one shot. As silly as it was, and I would love it, but it's more like each store got one or the other. So and there's two other stores that do carry Bad Idea books here. So I'm pretty sure I'll have to go out and find them, see if they hold aggressive, so I can actually go get it that way. And yes, the other mini story in the back. They always have like these like this little like short story, but it's about this little this mafia guy that's trying to get out of like the mob that he's in by like killing his way out of like the mob way while having this whole monologue on like trying to be a good person. But it's like whatever. The whole point of it was about it's Office Space meets Batman.
Nice. All right. And that's the first of the final 5, right?
This is the first of the final 5, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on and talk about Aftershock.
Ooh.
We only got one book, but it's a big one. Literally.
Yeah.
It's physically large. Written by Peter Milligan. Drawn by Piotr Kowalski. Colored by Brad Simpson. And lettered by Simon Bowlen. This is a one-shot. And it's one of these gigantic Aftershock one-shots.
Yeah.
What was the name of the last one? The one with the tattoos?
Eden.
I couldn't remember. It was Luna. I'm like, no, Luna was the Merritt Levette one.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to remember. So this one is God of Tremors. Man, this was a read. Let me tell you. I think I liked your tweet about it a lot, and that kind of like informs a lot of what I want to say about it. So we have a young child in England. Looks to be a while ago. I don't want to say Victorian because then people will be like, well, Victorian, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
It's an older England. And he's raised in the manor house by what presumably is his rich father. And rich and pious father, or at least kind of pious.
Mm.
And there's a really good twist, and there's a lot of good stuff that happens at the end. So we're not going to talk about the whole plot, especially because this is really cool and you should definitely pick it up.
Yeah.
But it is about him discovering he has epilepsy in a time when no one really believed that was a thing. I believe you just need to pray harder, basically. It does have a lot to do with religion, with faith in Christianity and faith in whatever else you might believe. And also in the ignorance of men.
Oh, yeah.
And just the expendability of women in that time.
Oh, my God.
So,
yeah, all of those for sure.
Yeah. And it was really, really well done. It's almost like... I'm trying to figure out if I want to say this. No. It's a really cool horror story. It's a really cool one-shot horror story, basically, is what I'd say. And if you liked the autumnal, you'll probably like this.
Ooh, okay.
Is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Very similar mood, and once again, I'm not a big horror fan, but I liked this. I liked this quite a bit.
Yeah. I think this one for sure, like, just I'm glad I read Monsters a while back ago, because that one definitely prepped me to just get into this one, because it was just, man, this boy, just such brutal times, and just like to just get it over and over and over again like this, like, fuck. And Monsters was just like dealt with a lot of similar topics, again, very trigger warning, so it's like I won't like get into details, but yeah, God of Tremors is a very heavy book with certain topics, but damn, it does make it for a good payoff, where it's just like, where like in the end it is about horror. You're meant to kind of be scared, but you're kind of like, oh, good for him, you know, like good for them in the end. Like in that own twisted way, it's like, oh shit, what does that say about my morality if I'm rooting for this to happen? But at the same time, you're like, I wouldn't want this to go any other way. Like, fuck that guy.
Kind of like Pan's Labyrinth too.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
That'd be a good comparison.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know you're a huge Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, that's my favorite movie of all time. Yeah.
So, kind of like that. You got the young kid against the older male relative, and you know, there's a disagreement there. Obviously, Pan's Labyrinth is more elaborate with the actual supernatural forces. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm already seeing like
it's almost scarier not seeing them.
Yeah, especially because like the similarities there, where it's just like her at the end of the movie when she's like going back to like the labyrinth, and it's just like it's the real world. Like nothing was really appearing there, and it's just like, oh, it was like a similar thing was happening here. I love it. But at the end, and did I not answer his prayers? For am I not the god of tremors?
Yeah.
Loved it.
Cool.
It's so good. Really, really I loved it so much.
Yeah. All right. And next up, we are switching over to one of the big indies, which is Image.
Yes.
Man, do we have a stack. So I have 2 solos that I will start off with. And that is, first of all, Compass, number 3. So Compass is the one starring the Middle Eastern woman in Wales. On like a mission to find the Cauldron of Eternal Life. Written by Robert McKenzie and David Walker, art by Justin Greenwood, colors by Daniel Miwa, and letter by Simon Bolin. So basically in the last issue, she came across some druids and has to pass their little test in order to find the cauldron. They know where it is. And they don't expect her to make it. But so she has to take this potion thing, and then she starts hallucinating in this cave and stuff. Meanwhile, her old friend, who conflicted with her in the first issue, she's also looking for it and comes at it from a different direction, a more dangerous direction, basically. And long story short, they end up meeting and working together. Mm-hmm. And so it's really interesting. We learned a lot about the main character's background in this, too, because as she's hallucinating, it's always a good time to introduce, like, old friends and stuff like that as hallucinations.
Oh, yeah.
But basically, they have to work together to fight a bear with no resources whatsoever. So it's really cool. I really dug it. The other thing I really, really like about this book is at the end of every issue, basically, there's been an essay about like what's being represented in these books. So the last one was about the last one was about druids and about how people don't really understand druids at all, and like that was really interesting. It's like 4 pages of an essay too. It's really crazy.
Bitterroot does that, like, but with the really great essays about actual social topics around the world, like, but then how they get Bitterroot into their essays. Like these are all like academic people from like universities doing these essays, and then so like they'll string in Bitterroot into it. And it's like, fuck, these are really dope.
Yeah, like this one, because the villains are Mongols.
Okay.
And so the very first thing here is it's easy to cast Mongols as matinee villains, to paint them as a brutal tide of unrepentant barbarians that wash over history's proper protagonists and natural cultural borders before receding. Is also intellectually dishonest, and they go into detail about the history of the Mongol people and how that's a group we never seen really given their fair shake of a story. You know what I mean? In pop culture. There's never been a Mongol hero, you know what I mean?
It's just the other side of Mulan, and it's like, I guess that's them, you know? Yeah,
exactly. So it's just really, really interesting, and I'm really digging this book. It reminds me of a little bit of, there was a BBC show for Robin Hood years ago that was really, really good, and they introduced the character of Jack, which is a girl, who it's DJAQ, I think, and she's a Saracen. And so right in the middle of all this group of white dudes is her. And I really was intrigued by that character. And my friend who watched it with me, we were like, I want to know more about her. And this is almost kind of like we're talking about her now. Like, this is her adventure. It's obviously not the same character or anything like that, but this is really, really interesting. I'm really liking it. And yeah, I love the focus on, like, it's in Wales. Very few things are set in Wales. You know what I mean? Like, specifically, we're dealing with druids. We're dealing with, you know, Middle Eastern people of the time at that time, which is usually handled, if at all, not well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And then the Mongols, again, the Mongol leader is cunning and intelligent, and he knows what he's doing. And I just really like it. It's very fascinating to read. So, my other Image book is the number one as well. And it's called Second Chances. I regret to tell Josue about this book because he's trying to save money. So, written by Ricky Mamone, art by Max Bertolini, letter by DC Hopkins. You might notice I didn't say colorist because it's in black and white.
Oh, okay.
So, Second Chances. Let's just look at the cover.
Ooh, okay. I don't think I even
see this face and shit.
I don't think I even glossed over this, or else I kind of would have been like interested. Shit.
So it's very much a noir tale.
I'm already getting driven in. Yes.
So you got this guy, and he does the noir narration, which it's like my favorite writing on the planet is noir.
Very
narration,
pulpy, yeah.
Where it's like it always starts with a phone call, and I'm like, yes,
give it to me.
Just fucking shoot it in my veins. I don't care. It's just so good. And basically, he runs an organization called Second Chances, where when one of his clients makes a terrible, fucked up mistake, his job is to fix it and to give them a second chance. But he makes a point: no one gets a third chance.
Ooh, okay.
So his friend is like, you know, I fucked up, man. He's like, what happened? He's like, just tell Mary I love her. Tell Emma. He's like, tell her yourself. And you find out the dude's surrounded by a bunch of dead guys that got shot. And then, in a very bleed them dry way, these fucking ninja things show up.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're sick looking and like, I love it. Long story short, he tries to save the dude. He's not able to. He gets shot. But he basically is, in the end, trying to help the guy's family. And it's so action filled. The only book I can compare it to is Bleed Them Dry. It's the only one that comes close.
Well, it's a must. Devil's Red Bride.
To see this shit.
Like those ninja or samurai ninjas or samurai assassins. They kind of remind me of a little more high techy for sure. But it's bringing back also Devil's Red Bride.
Yeah, I could see that too. So, and it's just cool as shit. And
yeah, I'm into it.
It's just really good. Like, it's just this caught me off guard because I didn't hear any hype on this book at all.
Okay.
I just saw it on the list and I was like, it's the number one. It's from Image. Let me make sure there's no one I hate in the creative team. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And this is top 5 number ones of the year for me already.
Ooh, okay.
It's really good.
I had back-to-back weeks of getting just 17 issues. I'm definitely going to get Eat the Rich and Second Chances.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I think you really like both of them.
Fuck yeah.
And this one sets it up really nicely for a future.
Nice.
Because I just love his whole noir thing. And there's a noir like trope of helping your dead partner's family. You know, like that's a noir trope. So that's kind of what he's doing. I love noir. So
and I think, if I'm not mistaken, out of all books that we don't share an actual black and white book. At least I don't think.
Future State Gotham.
Oh, you're right. Future State Gotham.
Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah, but I mean that's a DC book. That doesn't count. All right, let's move on to our shared image. We'll start with Radiant Black number 7.
Ooh, okay.
Written by Kyle Higgins, drawn by Marcelo Costa, colored by Natalia Marquez, and lettered by Becca Carey. So we got all of our 4 Radiants together.
Yes, we finally come back.
Yeah.
I actually really like this. I love the spread. I like the covers. Or the cover.
Yes, right? Yeah, I got that
so
too.
Cool.
Yeah. And basically, we find out a bit more about how their powers work and everything, and they have to work together, and It's just really cool. We find out about like the portaling away and how that kind of works. We go to Tokyo, which was pretty dope, which I know Josue loved the bit when they left Tokyo.
Oh yeah. And then these two random things are just...
Someone's like, what Sentai was that? Like, yeah.
And then you look up and like them in the sky and like, oh wow, they're totally fucking Sentai. There's totally Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it's just really interesting. And at one point, two of them, was it Pink?
Yes.
With him? Yeah. So Radiant Black and Pink are teleported far away into space because they're the power malfunction. And we witness a massive space battle.
It's so dope. It's so cool. That,
if this is something coming their way, is very ominous. And very fucking cool. They're able to get back in time, and then the creature that attacked them, it looks like that he was taken down, and he's still breathing, and they're going to interrogate him. So, man, this book is so good. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, and
like where it started to now, like it's only been a couple issues. It's only been 7 issues. And it's a completely different book.
To where it started to where it's at now, and then to where Kyle Higgins has promised his journey to 30 issues. Not necessarily that's like his finale, but like he knows what he knows where the story's going to go by the 30th issue. So it's kind of like, and then we get that quick tidbit that I didn't even consider, is this shit coming our way? I just thought they just went somewhere random out in the cosmos and they just witnessed that. So it's like, holy shit.
But he's been told by the suit when he absorbed it, shit's coming. Basically.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So
I love that I did like that each suit had different powers. Like they don't really all share just black hole powers, but in their own way, it's just a little different. Actually, I just really like this book a lot.
And they might even share powers. It's just those are the powers they each found.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
You know, like, and that's cool to me. Like that tells you a bit about their characters and stuff. Like,
oh, you're so right.
I dug that. So, yeah. Next up, Nocterra number 6. Written by Scott Snyder, art by Tony S. Daniel, color by Tomoyo Mori, letter by And World Design. I got this cover.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So, last issue, our heroes found sanctuary, or so they thought. Turns out the guy they're with has been working with Blacktop Bill the entire time. And has been trying to get the notebook and plans on killing them afterwards. And so now, instead of having this awesome sanctuary where they can keep the shadows out, they need to leave. They're captured, and then so they need to break out. And that leads to an awesome breakout sequence.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed this. There's so many good little moments in this, and I'm careful on how much to spoil. But this fucking shit right here, where he doesn't see the thing coming up behind him.
Oh, yeah.
He gets the comeuppance he deserves from the right person, too. Like, that was really dope. I love the big reveal at the end when B shows up.
It's so cool.
Yeah, what was it? Make it morning, boys. Like, it's just so cool. Like, and I like the bit at the end, you know, miles left to go, resetting, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, and just, I love how Blacktop Bill keeps surviving these situations. He's just going to be the villain that keeps coming back. He keeps coming back, you know, and like, and it's just, I just love this book. It's really improved since issue 1 quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know originally we were both kind of like, this is cool. It's kind of a unique concept, you know, like,
but we needed to see more.
Yeah, we don't know where it's going. You know, we kind of felt like another post-apocalyptic book, really, you know, like, but this one's found a unique spot.
Oh, for sure.
And they've also stayed really true to their mythology of all the light and everything like that.
Yeah.
Which is really important to establish that. So, yeah, really cool. I enjoyed it. Anything else you want to add about it?
No, I mean, I enjoyed it for, what is it? This was the end of the first half, right? End of the first arc? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Which leads us to, and I know why you didn't want to say too much about that, because you could not wait to talk about this book, Homesick Pilots number 8.
Yes.
Written by Dan Waters, drawn by Casper Vingard, letter by Aditya Bidikar. I got this cover.
Ooh, that's a good one. A distortion pedal. Love it.
Yep. So cool. So in the last issue, we kind of cut back to our original hero, and what's going on with them. They were doing this cool like trip across the country and everything, which I was like, oh, I really like this. Are we going to go back to the other group? What's going to happen here? And I was wondering if we're going to spend a whole arc, separate with separate stories. Spoiler alert, I don't think so. I think we're going to come back together relatively soon. So yeah, we got Amy and oh God, what's his name again?
Buzz.
Buzz, thank you. We got Amy and Buzz chilling, and they know the ship is the ship. It's in the water. The house, is waiting for them, and really wants her to come back. And she's struggling with the whole idea that she's part of it now. If she dies, she's probably going to have to go back to the house as a ghost. Which is really sad. And then at the same time, we got Meg and Rip. And she's using her power. She's figuring out more about how to use the ghost to make the nuclear bastard work.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got this really creepy Carnage-esque look going with all the red and the multiple arms and shit, and like it's really cool.
Or I mean, like, is she being influenced now by the other ghosts?
Yes, exactly. Is she actually in control? That's the question. So, and then Buzz and Amy decide to go to a concert.
Yep, it's been itching. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, which we've talked about. Half of this book is about music, so we've been kind of like, oh, we need some music sometime soon. Of course they'll do it. Why wouldn't they?
Great fucking scene. Great scene. Great fucking moment. There's always like a couple of panels up to a punchline or something or a discussion. But this, like, getting someone from like on stage with like the mic and just a great message to just close it up with the 3 perfect words. Fuck Nazi punks.
Yeah. So leading up to it, we see Marky, which is the little ghost boy that wants toys and makes his own toys. And, the lead singer of the band gives this awesome speech about basically fuck Nazi punks. Yeah. Like going into it, Nazis fucking suck. And then we find out the little boy, Ghost, he always liked to make things. And so when he heard some men on the beach talking about how things used to be better and how they could be better again if they were united properly, he decided to unite them and all their friends. And that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
He basically molds all these Nazis together. And everyone see the end of Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Oh, God, dude.
It's basically that with Nazis instead of Ralph. And it's disgusting. And it's like, back in the good days. Like, it's just screaming all this fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really scary. And in the end, Amy discovers she does have a bit of power left and is able to disperse the Nazi golem. I don't know. I hate to use the word golem for Nazis because that's, a Jewish thing. But I mean,
oh my God. Yeah.
Like Nazi construct. There we go.
Okay. Better.
And so they're able to stop it. And they're like, well, that's cool. And like, I like the line, is this all dead Nazis? But then a news chopper shows up and puts them on TV. And Meg is watching TV, eating ramen noodles. And it's just too fucking late. So I think she's going to find out. She's going to go try to find them. And we're all going to be back together again. And I'm going to feel a lot happier. So
Are we?
I mean, unless they fight each other.
Yeah, no.
I think Meg will help them defeat the house, I guess.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, you're right.
So, but it's really good. Like going to the concert, the whole speech, killing a bunch of Nazis, all good stuff. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's just a good issue. Like, again, I really thought we were just gonna last issue was just gonna be like one of those, like one and done, keeping them there while we kind of slowly get updated. But no, following them around was really cool, especially like the moment where she's talking about the different ghosts and like the ghost that, like, what was it, the Mrs. Garrison, where she with the disorder, and she had to like almost had to like she would see herself differently as a different person, and then she would have to like dress in that way. And then along comes the day when she just ended up seeing herself as Judas, the Judas. And what was it? And she dressed herself appropriately. And like, wow, it's so fucking brutal, so dark. Yeah.
We're wrapping up Image Comics with a solo from Josue. Time Before Time, number 4.
Yes, this one. Let me get this. The teams. Declan Shelby and Rory McConville as the writers, John Palmer as the artist, Chris O'Halloran as our colorist, and Hassan Otsamane Olau as letter. So I'm just going to throw out these quick dates. 2130, 2093, 2141, back to 2093, and back to 2141. This is a time travel book, and it's just like, it's so hard to kind of put these words together in a quick review session. But some of the characters are kind of starting to kind of like be a little bit more connected, like the FBI agent that kind of like hijacked the time travel pod that got separated from her family a long time ago. The person that she hijacked it from, she's finally meeting the asshole that separated her family from way back when. So you can see how all these dates are kind of like intermingling. And then the one spy lady that was the one kind of like that was going to sell them out. And then they kind of got the upper hand on her because it kind of became a two-on-one fight. She out of nowhere just like, I thought she was going to be more of a villain, but they kind of offer in this issue. And you're like, oh shit. So that one for sure I didn't see that one coming because she was really the one kind of driving like the whole like backstabbing thing. So yeah. Maybe at the end of the arc, I'll be able to kind of put all these words together because, yeah, these are a lot of dates that are kind of like jumping all over the place. But I do like it. It is just a time travel book, though.
It's going to be the kind of thing you're going to go back once it's complete.
Yes.
And you can put it all together.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to have to, too.
Yeah, I got you. Nice. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to the big two.
Yes.
Which we're doing a little bit earlier than we normally do in the show. But that's a good thing because, good God. You saw the stack of books I got here. So we're going to start with DC. I got 3 books of DC. I think Josue only has the one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start off with Batman Secret Files, #1, Clown Hunter.
Ooh.
So Clown Hunter is a young boy who is currently taking out all their leftover clowns from Joker War.
Okay.
Which we're still stuck on Joker War, which
apparently,
but it's fine. I liked this book quite a bit.
Okay.
This kid also went to Gotham Academy, by the way. So, words by Ed Brisson, art by Rosie Camp, color by Andrew Dahlhaus, and letter by Simon Bolin. So, he's basically DIYing it himself, and he's not associated with any heroes or anything like that. He's stalking this one clown and finally corners him and corners him in this room, and he's just like, evening, and his weapon is a bat.
Of course.
But he took the bat and he got a hold of a batarang after a Batman fight.
Ooh.
And he cut a slit in the bat and threaded the batarang through it.
Ooh, yeah.
So you can see it really good here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it could be an axe, technically, like a pick.
Uh-huh.
Or you could use the flat bat side, And he's basically hunting down the clowns and finds out that Punchline knows who he is and set him up and blew up the building he was in, but it only stunned him. And she's like, it wasn't meant to kill you, it was meant to be a signal to bring all of the clowns to stop you, basically.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So he was flashing back throughout this to when he's at Gotham Academy and when all the bullies are picking on him and there's like 30 of them beating on him. And that's what he's seeing here because all these clowns are beating on him. They beat him up. They hang him from a light pole by his wrist.
Damn.
And they're going to kill him and leave him, basically. And it's great because Punchline's talking to him on a phone the entire time, on a video phone. And she's just... Also, he hates Joker because Joker killed his parents. So it's funny because she's just like, why are you doing this? And he's like, she's like, you could have gone after Kite Man, basically. And he's like, Kite Man didn't kill my parents. And she goes, dead parents, of course. What is it with the orphans in this town? I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny, actually. But you find out he's killed 27 clowns at this point.
Oh, so, shit.
He spits on the phone. He's like, I'm coming for you. They're about to kill him when all of a sudden they all start getting knocked out by somebody. And then who shows up? But the Red Hood.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Better.
So Jason saves him, and Jason's like, you need training. And Clown Killer's like, I'll think about it. I prefer to work alone, and runs off, basically. So it's a one-shot. It's going to be setting up the future.
It's like they were made for each other.
Yeah. Me and Liz have this opinion that Jason works really well with a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Batman and Robin run. where he had the girl, I can't remember her name now, Scarlet, with the Professor Pig, where he put the mask on her and stuff. Yeah, that was really cool. It was a really cool run, and we really liked that, and we liked that dynamic. So I really enjoyed that book. Character I don't know too much about, and it's the second of these Secret File books after the Huntress one. So we'll see what else comes from it.
How old is that Joker Hunter? Like, is he a kid?
He's a kid. I mean,
it's like he's perfect for the Bat-Pack.
Yeah, I honestly kind of has a visual similarity to Chupacabra too. So, also, yeah, of course, Deluxe cover. So
nice. Okay.
Which leads me to the next book, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Deluxe cover. Look at that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. This book has been so fucking good.
Nice.
And I swear to God, if she doesn't get an ongoing out of this, because this is a 12-issue mini.
Okay.
And that's a sore spot for a lot of DC fans, because they're like, how is she not going to get a real book?
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely hope that she does coming out of this, because it's been really good. Written by Tom King, art by Bill Everly, color by Matthias Lopes, and letter by Clayton Cowles. So she's traveling around with the person that attacked her, nearly killed Crypto, and killed this girl's father on the planet she was originally on. They've been just traveling around the universe. And yeah, it's basically a road trip with them. They come up to a planet where he's supposedly been, and there's this really cool self-contained adventure where they basically everybody on the planet is blue, and they're like, oh, that's cool. And then she keeps seeing references to people who are purple, not blue, but purple. And she's like, I don't see any of them. Or like when they sign into their hotel, there's a category for people who are purple, and there's just no names there anymore. And they're like, yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen purple people. And like, this is weird. What she finds out is this group came in that just takes and kills everything. That's their whole thing. And on this planet, the blue people have always been the rich people, and the purple people are like the working class.
Okay.
Well, the people that kill everybody are willing to take a payment to not do so. Well, they didn't have enough to pay them, so they ended up paying just to protect the blue people and let them murder all the purple people.
Of course.
So, yeah. So she finds out about that, and she handles that shit, let me tell you. So, but then they leading into the main story, she gets a hint as to like where the guy is, so they know where to find him. So yeah, it goes into the next step. It's really cool. I'm loving seeing Supergirl through this girl's eyes, because the girl's the narrator, not Supergirl.
Okay.
So it's almost like a book of tales of Supergirl, where she's telling people about her.
Kind of reminded me of like I was kind of a fan of this book, but there's a Dan Slott Silver Surfer book, when Silver Surfer takes like his girlfriend down to the cosmos. And you kind of see like, because you can just make a Norn book, like whatever, and then just make it really deep and philosophical and shit. But to see like a human interaction, a human space adventures, it's kind of what kind of made the book for me too.
Yeah, I really, really dug this. This is the one that definitely I was like, give her own book.
Nice.
This should be an ongoing. So, especially if they keep the artist, because the artist is killing it. So
cool.
All right, and that takes us to our last DC book, which we both have, and this is, of course, Nightwing.
Nightwing. I've been waiting for this cover for so long. Ever since it was solicited, I was such a huge fan of this whole interaction of the cover.
I didn't get that one.
No, it's literally him like landing, and it does like that thing that it does in all the panels, that motion stuff. And if you can tell when he's like just getting ready for like the big speech, he's forgetting that he has a mask on. And then he just sets it in his back pocket. So I love this whole thing where it's just like it does the thing that the pages do inside. That's
awesome. So yeah. I got the deluxe cover, so
the one where he's walking Bitewing. Yeah.
So Nightwing, also known as the best book DC's putting out.
Yeah, arguably, but yeah, for sure.
So we're dealing with the aftermath of him finding out about his sister. Written by Tom Taylor, drawn by Bruno Redondo, colored by Adriano Lucas, letter by Wes Abbott. And basically, yeah, he gets in a fight with Blockbuster that he's not prepared for. He's able to get away. We get some amazing shots. Just Jesus, this art, Bruno's insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just, I mean, it is. I'd put it on level Chichetto right now. Chichetto and Daredevil.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah,
but I think it's just as good.
Chicharito's a little more detailed, but at the same time, like we just talk about the colors of this book too, like that blue, or just like the way it's just captures every single panel with it.
Yeah, that Nightwing blue is just incredible. Which, again, we give credit for that to Adriana Lucas because they're the one doing the coloring.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the interaction with him and Superman in this.
Oh my god! Yeah, I just got there.
It's some of the best Superman stuff I've seen in a while.
And it's like, what a fucking diss! Like he's going around like getting all of his friends, and it's like, hey, I need your help. Hey, I need your help. Hey, I need your help. And at the end, and then a friend. And it's like, it's not Batman. Like, fuck Batman at this point. It's fucking Superman. So good.
Yeah. And then so Dick comes to an agreement, or comes to a decision of what to do with his money. And then we get this moment.
With
Dick kissing Barbara.
You literally had Starfire a couple panels ago.
Yeah. Two-timing son of a bitch.
That's what I didn't want.
But basically he announces he's going to take all the money he inherited and he's going to start a charity with it.
Yeah.
Basically it's going to be used for a lot of things, but mostly to help with Bloodhaven. Fighting homelessness. I love the bit, like, why are you starting with homelessness? There's lots of problems. And he's like, simple, because it's getting colder. And
yeah.
like, yes.
It's simple, but that's the answer. Yes.
Yeah. And so, and of course, he announces that as the Alfred Pennyworth Foundation, which is sweet. And Bruce calls him, which is really sweet. Tells him you honored him, which I was like, oh.
I like that too.
But my favorite part was the Bat Family group chat, where Cass only communicates in emojis, which is hilarious to me.
Yes.
So, and Jason, nice work. Before you give it all away, don't forget you owe me $20. So, yeah, just really, really cool. I'm really digging this, and we get another tease with the Heartless coming after him as well. So, God, this is so cool. This feels like a Marvel book. I hate to be like that at DC.
Oh yeah, no, I get you.
Just because it's good doesn't mean it feels like a Marvel book. It just feels like one.
I need to shout out. It
feels like a Daredevil run.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I totally get that. I mean, if Matt got that sum of money, what the fuck would he do with it? Like, he's literally the Robin Hood to fucking Hell's Kitchen. Like, he's literally the protector. He wouldn't know what to do with that money. He can't fucking see money. It's like, the fuck do I need it for? But I did love the Tim and Damien responses too. With Tim's always raising the bar higher than the rest of us. Proud of you. Only like arguably because like the whole like him coming out, like I did like that one. And then Damien, not that it's a competition, but you win. Little shit, I love it.
I'm really excited for the future of his sister.
Me too.
I hope they make a deal out of this character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I hope she becomes a vigilante. I hope she does something badass.
Yeah.
I personally hope her and Jason start dating.
Ooh.
I think that would be hilarious if he dated basically female Dick Grayson. That's funny to me. Like, yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with her. Yeah, I just hope there's a future there, is what I'll say. So.
No, me too.
Yeah. All right, next up is Marvel Comics. As always, we're wrapping up with Marvel. Boy, howdy, are we wrapping up with Marvel. Josue, we're going to start with you. You do have a solo book.
Yeah.
You have the Miles Morales Annual #1.
Yeah, Miles Morales Spider-Man Annual #1. This one is also written by Saladin Ahmed. Artist is Luca Maresca. Colors is Fernando Cifuentes. Cifuentes? Photo Bunker? Proto Bunker? That's a whole name. And lettering by Cora Petit. So this is a team-up book, and a team-up with another youngin, another new character that goes by the name of The Amulet. Do you know him at all?
It sounds familiar.
He's definitely Middle Eastern. He's over on the Jersey side, so I'm not sure if he's actually been crossing over with Miss Marvel.
Maybe.
I don't want to mix up what religion he is, but he's definitely Middle Eastern, and the amulet is a whole part of that. And so it's kind of cool how he kind of glows, how he kind of fires up. But in this case, fucking Spider-Man, Miles is decides to take a different route, and in this case, he's not really prepared because he doesn't really know this side of town. But only he should get to learn it, and because of it, he's like on the lower side of the city, physically wise, stature wise, where he can't really swing from place to place. He has to like be jumping from rooftop to rooftop, so he can't really be at his full like Spidey self. Right. He ends up seeing like this like cycloptic fucking beast, it's a little too strong, so enter the amulet, and it becomes a team up. Yeah, it's just they go from photo to photo to get to the bottom of this thing. It's just like some old guy. I guess he used to be a good guy, but he's kind of like one of those like reformed bad guys that's trying to do good by doing more bad than anything. But yeah, and it kind of becomes like a little side story and story B of like both the amulet and Miles' like home situation. And just like maybe it's one of those like happy endings, like home situation. But yeah, it's like a simple team up, and in the end, there's because it is one of those Infinite Destinies tie-ins.
I was gonna ask, yeah. The backstory is Infinite Fury Part 7, and in this case, it still follows Nighthawk from Heroes Reborn. We're following Nighthawk in this one, and he had a couple of these.
Yeah, and in this one, he has his buddy Falcon is teaming up with him in this one. Only it's actually Nick Fury's son. The 616 Nick Fury. So they're after Star. They're after Star because like Nighthawk is getting wind of like the Infinity Stones now. So they're after her to just probably like to steal it from her. They do only enter Fury's plans, and enter Nick Fury. They shoot her down. I guess like they kill Star, and then because also Nick Fury has other plans, he shoots Nighthawk. Yeah. Only off panel, so I don't know if he actually killed them, but so I guess that takes care of Nighthawk.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that story when I get to Black Cat later.
Ooh, okay. And it also says like to be concluded. So it's like whichever next one will be the last one.
Yeah. She doesn't die, by the way. He captures her is what happens.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Now I'm going to run through my Marvel solos. Here we go. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, Star Wars number 16. Alt variant cover with Han Solo's wanted poster. So that's fun. Written by Charles Soule, drawn by Ramon Rosanas, colored by Rochelle Rosenberg, and lettered by Clayton Cowles. I read these comics in the wrong order because I'm also reviewing Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters number 3. And this one actually took place before the other one.
Oops.
And I read them in the wrong order, and it bothered me because it spoiled things for me. But it's fine. Written by Charles Soule, illustrated by Luke Ross, with David Messina, colored by Niraj Menon, and with Guru, and lettered by Travis Lanham. So I'm going to read both of them at the same time because they're happening at the same time.
Okay.
Basically, what's happening is when we left off the main story of the War of the Bounty Hunters, Luke realized that Vader has Han. And they're still at the auction at this point. They haven't taken him away from the auction. So he's on his way to basically save the day, to save Han and save his friends, because Leia, Chewie, and Lando are all there as well. Chewie and Boba Fett have a fist fight because they're trying to be quiet so they can't use blasters. So that was fun.
So punching into what's that fucking plate called again?
Beskar.
Yeah, so punching into Beskar is the next quiet option,
as opposed to a fucking Wookiee. I mean, it ends when Boba Fett sets Chewbacca on fire.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because he has a flamethrower. So
quieter than the blaster,
and it pokes into a lot of things. But the main thing it does that it was so dope is, and I still love this, Kira, the girl from Solo.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one auctioning them off, and when Vader's like, "I'm going to take him," she's like, "Yeah, about that. I still got to get paid. Like, you're going to pay me the 1,000,000 credits?" And he's just like, impertinent fool, basically. And so he busts out his lightsaber, and she does this shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and she says, "Not everyone here is afraid of you, Lord Vader."
Ah, nice.
And they have this awesome fight, and she does end up losing.
Yeah,
of course. But in the end, basically Luke gets close, and Luke is like, he comes to the realization, I'm not ready. I'm not powerful enough to stop Vader right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which we know because this happens before Jedi.
Yeah.
But Vader reaches out to him, communicates with him, and says, "You will come here, you will fight me, or I will cut your friend in half."
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's like, damn, dude. So I'm kind of curious to see where this goes because, again, when they put it between two movies, we know what happens later.
Yeah.
So I'm always curious to see how they get there from here. So really cool. I'm really enjoying this crossover. So next up is Guardians of the Galaxy number 17.
Okay.
Oh, man. Written by Al Ewing, drawn by Juan Frigeri, colored by Federico Blee, and lettered by Corey Petit. So what they found out is, again, Dormammu has taken over Ego's planet.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just a big Dormammu head, which is hilarious.
It is.
We did confirm that Captain Glory is dead. The Kree soldier they let out of prison.
Oh, no, yeah.
He was killed.
Fuck.
So they're trying to figure it out, and all the Guardians are working together to try to work this out, right? And because Doom is a Guardian now, they find out there's only 4 planets being attacked, actually. There's the Kree homeworld, the Skrull homeworld, there's the Shi'ar homeworld, and Spartax, which is where Quill's people are from. And they're like, why? And they pull them up on a map and everything like that. And they're like, why is this? You know, it's just kind of like, you know, the Kree homeworld's basically a construction site. It's basically destroyed. The Skrull one is basically uninhabited for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Like, none of these have any kind of like real worth. And Doom says, why are they connected? He goes, what if there was a 5th? And this is the cool part. There's never been anybody, or there's not anybody currently on the Guardians that has magic expertise.
Oh.
And so what he discovered is the 5 planets, if you take the 4 of them and plug a 5th one in, it makes a fucking pentagram in space.
Oh shit, okay.
So it's a gigantic intergalactic symbol that they're trying to take over, which makes sense of the Dormammu, right? And they discover basically if you take over the planet, his power is going to grow. And if they take over all 5, he can basically open a portal to hell and have infinite mindless ones pour through.
Well, I mean,
or he could just take the whole universe to hell with him.
Or can you imagine that big of a gate to hell or just suck back in? Like, what the scariest fuck? Oh my god.
Yeah. So they're all going to do their own thing. And they all split up to do their jobs, right? So they figure out the 5th planet, the mysterious 5th planet, is the Chitauri homeworld.
Ooh, okay. Oh shit.
So, and what they find out is their biggest fear, Dormammu is already in control there, because the Chitauri work on a hive mind. And if you take over the queen, you can just take them all over.
Oh my god.
So that's what he did. So he already has control of it. And Dr. Doom had a terraforming platform put over that planet. And he's like, yeah, I've made a few small adjustments. And it's just pouring out Doom bots to go attack the planet. So I was like, yes, I love that that's his plan. It's always Doom bots.
Always his go-to. I mean, at this point, is that even Doom inside talking with them in the plan?
Right, exactly. So, and they're all doing the thing. And the best part is like, right here, they bring up some lore, which I thought was really cool. They're like, blah blah blah. Here it is. Oh yeah, Nova's like, remember, at one point, Galactus and Ego were teamed up, this cosmic team. They're like, yeah, the Eternity Watch. He's like, yeah, and he gave Ego this special power boost. He's like, yeah, Ego, I can see how Galactus powers will be a warrior right now. He's like, it's not that. He's like, the planet head stayed the same size, but he grew a whole massive body underneath it. That was something he needed the Galactus boost to do, though. He couldn't do it now. Are you sure about that?
Oh, fuck.
This crossover's fucking nuts.
I want this trade for sure. Like, all the collected? Oh my god, yes.
The next issue is Cable Reloaded.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm going to get that issue for sure. Yeah.
And then the next one after that is The Last Annihilation, Wiccan and Hulkling.
Oh yeah, the one I'm getting.
The Last Annihilation, Wakanda 1.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to be reading these with you. These ending. Oh my god, I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
So crazy, dude. Like, just the space plus the magic is just such a good idea.
That's a great idea. Fucking ow, man.
Yeah. All right, next up, Spider-Woman.
Okay.
Spider-Woman number 14, written by Carla Pacheco, drawn by Perry Perez, colored by Frank Darmada, and lettered by Travis Lanham. Continuing to be one of the best books Marvel puts out. I just fucking love this book. And actually, I want to take a moment here to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
between Spider-Woman, Black Cat, and Black Widow, that's 3 female-led solo books that are some of the best books the publisher puts out.
That's awesome.
And that's really cool to see. And they're committed to all of them. None of them are 6-issue minis or anything like that. They're all ongoings, and they're really, really good. So I just want to give Marvel credit for that. So, but yeah, basically, so last issue we found out that Jess's brother tried to steal the research from her that cured her.
Okay.
And he needed it or at one point she gave it to him for his daughter because she was infected. But she only gave him one copy of it. And so why is he trying to steal it? She's trying to figure out why. So she's about to go meet him. And there's this fucking dumb, but I love it moment where she's sitting there in this office waiting for him. And she looks down at her watch. And then she says, I really should get a watch. Like, I just love that so much. For some reason, I thought it was dumb, but I loved it. Her brother comes out because she's at his office for his company. And he's like, oh, hey, good to see you. And she's like, wait, were you playing softball? Because he's in softball gear. He's like, yeah, we had our league game against X Corp today. And she's like, did you win? He's like, oh, absolutely not. Mutants are super good at softball. They always kick our ass. So I thought that was a fun little crossover. But basically what happened was, instead of just using it on his child, he tried to break it down. And it was encoded if anyone ever tried to break it down to just fall apart, basically. Mm. And so the amount they had that he used on his assistant, who's this hot chick, and now she has powers a lot similar to Spider-Woman's, basically. And they're like, don't you understand? This thing could cure so much. We should do this. And she's like, absolutely not. And all that. Like, basically, it's like this corporate espionage problem now, basically. And yeah, in the end, he gets infected as well. And he becomes a Turnion.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is definitely a setup for what's going to happen from here. But yeah, I'm really, really digging this book. It's a lot of fun. So next up, number 1, Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, okay.
Coming out of Loki.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. Written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. Drawn by Carlos Magno. Colored by Espen Grundetron. And lettered by Joe Caramagna. Now, this one is a fantastic book if you do not know who King the Conqueror is.
Okay, good.
We talk about this sometimes where, like, this is a good intro. This is literally an intro.
Okay.
It goes back to him, like, it goes back to him post-Iron Lad.
Uh-huh.
Like, when he goes back and he's lost his memory, remember? Because he had to have his memory erased so he could be Kang, because he had to be Kang, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then adult Kang comes in and basically takes him, is like, I'm going to train you. And he takes him back into the prehistoric time. And even though he doesn't remember being Iron Lad, he still has kind of the motions of Iron Lad. He's still like a good guy. So they're back in prehistoric time, and he finds out there are actually human beings back then.
Nice.
So he gets to know one, and she's really sweet, and he gets to know their people, and he saves her from a T-Rex. And their like medicine woman gives him, quote, a gift. She takes some face paint and marks his face.
Yeah.
As the hunter.
Oh, okay.
You know? And then so I thought no significance of it. But when he runs back to Adult Kang is like, wipe that pathetic paint off your face. And he says no. And they get into an argument, and Kang ends up like open hand slapping him, see?
Uh-huh.
But I didn't notice his paint is the same paint as Kang's.
It's the lines, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the origin of them, which is kind of cool. So, but yeah, it's basically the origin of Kang and who he is and everything. So,
well, that's cool.
Really cool. And at the end, he's taken forward to when Kang was a pharaoh, when he was Ramatut. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of going to go through his whole history, I think.
Okay. I kind of figured, I did peek through it, and I'm like, okay, I kind of don't need another King on King story. I feel like I have read this one, but if it's like a new refreshing tale, like, I mean, that's cool, because I definitely see like it's like the post Loki move.
Yeah, it's going to be good for a lot of people that don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, next up, Black Cat number 9. I got this beautiful cover.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So this ties directly into the Infinity Quest we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Written by Jed MacKay, drawn by C.F. Villa, colored by Brian Reber, and lettered by Farron Delgado. In the last issue, Felicia actually stole Star, who was in a stasis coffin, from Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So Star wakes up and she's like, what the fuck? And there's this whole dialogue with Felicia being like this fucking Jed's dialogue or monologues with Felicia are just incredible.
Yeah.
So this one's great. She's talking about like super crooks and what they do. He's like, someone like to show off their powers, flex a little. And like this one, take the Rhino for instance. I've been in 3 different meets with the Rhino over the years. His move, he crushes a pool ball in his hand, grinds it into dust. That's a lot of PSI right there. One of those meets, there wasn't even a pool table at the place. He brought his own pool ball from home. And I'm like, so good. But basically, she's trying to get Star on her side and just makes her breakfast. Oh. So, which is great. She's like, hey, you hungry? And so she's like, listen, here's the deal. You have an Infinity Stone in you. And I'm hired by somebody who wants to use your power to remove cancer from someone's body. And it's implied, I think, that it's Kingpin that's hiring her.
Oh, okay.
No, it's Doom. It's Doom. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. It's very heavily implied it's Doom. I can't believe I forgot that. So she's basically like, I don't have the power to do that, really. I mean, I'm not quite that powerful. She's like, yeah, but I hear your power gets stronger when other people with these stones appear. So we need to find other people with these stones. And lucky, there's 3 of them in New York, basically. And Star doesn't want to help her either, but then she reveals that basically she has a sniper pointed at Star, and Star will never see a bullet coming, so she can't stop it. So it's just like very Felicia. And they decide to go after the other people that have stones, including I forgot his code name, but Bautista. He has the time stone. And so they're like hunting him down, and what happens, he gets jumped by these soldiers and knocked down, and then she shows up and saves him. And the soldiers are like, Fury's orders and stuff, and she shows up, beats them up. It's like, come on, Hector, let's go. How about we get out of here? Takes him off. He wakes up in the same bed Star did, and then she made him breakfast too. Just slowly recruiting them. But what you find out in her monologue is the guys that jumped him were her boys.
Oh,
pretending to be Fury's boys to get him on her side.
Motherfucker.
So it's so great. I just love it. But yeah, she's slowly bringing everybody together, and I love Felicia. She's so great. Like, Jen McKay's doing an amazing job with that character. Final solo book, I promise. Gamma Flight number 3, written by Al Ewing, Crystal Fraser, drawn by Lam Medina, color by Antonio Fabella, and letter by Joe Sabino. Not going to touch too much on this because it isn't an issue 3. But basically, Gamma Flight is able to get back together. It's the core of what we need to go over. And we get a lot from Puck, which is cool because I love Puck. He kind of gets the narration in this one. And we find out a lot about the new member that just joined, because they just saved her from the Gamma scientist, and her codename is Stockpile. And yeah, it's just really cool. Again, I don't want to get too much into it, but we do get a bit about who we're fighting, what's going on, what they need to do, everything like that. So really good. I'm really enjoying that. So, all right, people. Finally, we're getting to our shared Marvels. You ready, Josue?
Absolutely.
The Marvels number 4. Written by Kurt Busiek, drawn by Yildiray Senar, colored by Richard Eisenoff, and lettered by Simon Bolin. Once again, this is the big crossover story with multiple different characters, including Kevin, who is the nephew, I think, of the Tinkerer. And he's kind of everything that's tying it all together. And it's all about Cian Kong and what's going on. The last issue we got was a flashback one with Reed and Ben Grimm. So we haven't really had a current issue in like a month and a half, basically. And it opens up with Doctor Strange and a very funny phone conversation with Wong, where he's just talking to Wong. He's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, you're not watching TV, are you? He's like, what channel? Any of them. And it's just like this giant dome over, Cian Kong. And I love that in this big 2-page spread, it's like checking in with all these different important powers.
Yeah.
Like Namor being like, it's polluting the Gulf. Like, and I just love that. Like, yeah. Agents of Atlas. The Agents of Atlas mentioned that one of theirs is in there, and that was Arrow, who I really, really like.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope she's okay. If they kill her, I'll be pissed. But the new power in Hong Kong is Lotus, who is Lady Lotus from back in the World War II days, I believe. So she was an Invaders villain. I think she was in the first issue of this briefly.
Okay.
Like running away and escaping to here. So, but yeah, there's so much going on here. We get some Spider-Man appearances. We get another Black Cat appearance. We get this crazy demon thing that's hunting them that Doctor Strange just dumps on the mindless ones, which I thought was pretty funny. And yeah, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, they all come together to make a plan. And Kevin and Black Cat are like, let's just get the fuck out of here, basically. So it ends with Arrow touching the big black circle and withering her hand. And again, if they do something bad to Arrow, I'll be very upset because I really like that character.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I know there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. The part that really got to me, kind of bugged me, was that like, yo, if you're not in the X house, maybe go, and you're at Marvel, you're at the House of Marvel, maybe go and knock on over to someone who does know what the fuck they're talking about, and maybe figure out who the fuck sits where.
Oh man, you're gonna do that.
I'm definitely gonna do that. Like Xavier sitting with Exodus and Sinister, like what the fuck? Meanwhile, Magneto's with Shaw and Emma, like it's all over the place. Like this makes no fucking sense. Like this is a quiet council. Like they know what seats they all have. Like it's not
Maybe just chilling.
No, they did not just go and meet up to just chill.
It's not a signed seating. Alone, like
Isn't it based on the seasons? Like they do. They are signed seating.
I didn't even notice that.
They were all over the place and it bugged the hell out of me.
Gotcha. Next up, Sinister War number 3.
Yeah.
Written by Nick Spencer and Ed Brisson. Pencils by Mark Bagley, Carlos Gomez, and Zay Carlos. Inked by Andrew Hennessy, Andy Owens, John Dell, Carlos Gomez, Zay Carlos. Colored by Brian Reber with Andrew Crossley and lettered by Joe Caramagna. Please reduce your creative team. Like Spider-Man books, you're killing me. This is dope.
Ooh, it's getting
so
crazy.
Spider-Man's still on the run. He's obviously hurt. And it looks like, hey, we got some help. Black Cat, Wolverine, Human Torch, they all show up to help him.
Mm-hmm.
But that sounds too easily, doesn't it?
Yes.
And it's the original Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Mysterio doing an illusion. They attack him. And then we get a cutaway to Kindred, and he brings back from the dead Sin Eater.
Yeah.
So yeah. He's getting attacked more. Other bad guys show up. Spider-Man's like, doing his best trying to get away. And again, Sin Eater is doing the thing. We'll get to that in a minute. Basically, Spider-Man's barely able to get away, and he gets confronted by Boomerang. And basically, Boomerang's like, getting up in his face, and he says quietly, "Run." And Spider-Man's like, "What?" He goes, "Run." He goes, "Oh no, Spider-Man hit the button on my boomerang and exploded." And I'm like, yes, Boomerang's a good guy. Like redemption. Like,
sure.
I really wanted him to be a good guy. I like C-list villains getting redeemed. I love that shit, especially Spider-Man once. So, but then in the end, as he's running away, he gets caught up by Sin Eater.
Yeah.
And help me here because I know that's the Great Gargoyle.
Okay.
Is that Juggernaut?
It is Juggernaut, right behind Sin Eater.
Yeah.
I forget who the X-ray guy is. I feel like that could be his name.
The other one is the Twister, right? What's his name?
It was like not Whiplash because that's like the one that they kind of combined him with. But it is
yeah.
Hurricane. No, whatever.
Who's the one in the very back? Is that supposed to be Morbius?
I want to say it's Morbius or Warlock. No, not Warlock.
So far back.
Yeah,
so it's hard to tell.
It looks like Vampire Mobius. I forget who all went down when Sin Eater was doing his thing. Because I for a second I thought it was the one that from that family that was running the whole Spider-Verse thing that first time around. The guy with like the helmet, but obviously they're not rocking the helmet right now. But I think it's Mobius.
Nice. So yeah, basically another team of villains shows up. So.
Another 6, like fuck.
Yeah.
And
36 now?
Yeah, and I couldn't believe I forgot that it's like, or even back then when Sin Eater was like literally taking down all of these villains so he can absorb those powers. I didn't consider that there were 6. Like he was his own one man, like Sinister 6 man, and now he's literally rocking that team. And it's like, fuck. And this team is also just as fucking scary.
Yeah, very much so. More scary.
Yeah,
there's so much raw power there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like this is probably
alone.
Yeah, this is probably the strongest team. Maybe.
Oh yeah, easily. Between him and Grey Gargoyle, Juggernaut and Grey Gargoyle, they could take down pretty much everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, the Living Laser. That's his name. The Living Laser.
Oh, that's Living Laser. He used to look different.
The one, yeah, the third one next to Sin Eater.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, I'm thinking of Living Lightning.
Oh, okay.
He was an Avenger. So awesome. All right, let's move on to Moon Knight number 2. Did you get it?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
The Peach Momoko cover?
Oh, wait, not the Peach Momoko cover. I actually didn't see that one. I'm going to have to hunt that one down. It is very beautiful.
Because it's just black and white, it really works with her style so well. And the little bit of red from the blood stands out even more. Oh, so good.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Jed MacKay. Once again, Jed killing it. Drawn by Alessandro Cappuccio. Colored by Rochelle Rosenberg and lettered by Corey Petit. Oh man, this book is getting so good.
Yes.
And it's only 2 issues in.
I love how it grew. Like not too big, but just the right people to kind of get more out of.
Yeah. And I like that this issue is, because the first issue was setup.
Mm-hmm.
This issue is, we're going to put Moon Knight in a situation and show you how Moon Knight resolves that situation.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with the character. And he does it in a way that I would argue no one else in Marvel would do.
Again, maybe Ghost Rider with the penance stare.
Yeah, actually, that would be a good comparison. So basically, long story short, there's a mystery going on in the neighborhood. And what we know, obviously, that Moon Knight's protecting his neighborhood. That's his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also to the side, we get really cool character development between him and his assistant.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
That was really cool too. So, but basically, it's all these old people. These old people just keep beating people up for some reason. And he basically works it out. He goes to this. They're all from this one building, basically, and they run into the janitor. He's like, "Excuse me, Holly." He's like, "No problem, sport." And then Moon Knight's like,
Yeah, automatically.
Yeah, he's like, "Mom, you home?" He's like, "I don't want to talk to your mother anymore. We need to go." And so basically, he finds out that the janitor has the power that if you consume his sweat, he can control your body.
Yep.
And once he discovered that, he's been doping the building's water supply with his sweat. It's so diluted that it only controlled the old people, at least at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then suddenly the guy he saved, Soldier, is controlled too. And so he's got a gun to his head. He's surrounded by all these old people. All these people are innocent. He doesn't want to hurt them. And he's about to die. And he's like, "You know what? You say you don't have an imagination. That's bull. You just haven't found a challenge yet." And he's like, "Here, basically the challenge for the guy. You and me, brain to brain. I'll take the sweat uncut straight from the source and basically see what happens." This dude doesn't understand what he's getting into.
Yes.
Moon Knight drinks the sweat. He's like, "Here's the thing," and he licks it from one of his fucking moon.
So dope. That's so awesome.
Yeah. He's like, "You've never seen anything like what's in my head." And then we're treated to some terrifying shit.
It is so awesome.
It's so dope. Obviously, this shot, the glory shot, is fucking fantastic.
The way he emerges from that is just so. The way you're.
I was gonna say this is the shot.
Yeah, no, me too.
The hands. Oh.
I had that too. Just like the way your brain has to probably conceive, interpret this out of the sky, and then to just get the page turn. Oh, so cool.
Yeah. So basically, the dude is overwhelmed and is catatonic afterwards.
Oh yeah,
worked out pretty well. And he's like, "Yeah, we did it, hooray!" And then him and his assistant again have a little tie. They tie up the thread we talked about a little bit earlier,
mm-hmm.
And then we see an ominous force, which appears to be the other Moon Knight.
Yes,
looming over it all. So,
and he has got a complete circle. So is that more like of a full of a new moon type of thing, like the actual opposite way?
Yeah. It's interesting because he's also chromatically switched.
Right. So he's all dark the way a new moon would be, just being not present. Like it's
yeah.
I'm curious how if like the powers are literally reversed, if like he's weakest at this point when Moon Knight's at his strongest and the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. It's so fucking
yeah, no, like that money shot, the one that you highlighted for sure, because it's kind of like, again, like we're seeing the moon, but physically, but now something's coming out of it from being again, like the way your brain has to twist to just register and accept
like
that is
what that would look like here.
Yeah, dude, and then just like boom,
just looking at the moon, and then two hands grab
coming from the inside. But again, I love it so much.
Yeah, that's twisted.
Or also that, like the way he just transforms too, like the way he looks as Mr. Knight, the way he's like the clean mask. But you know, like when this happens, like that's the trigger. Like that's the trigger for him jumping over, and it happens like one more time. Like he's composed there, but then down here he's just like he gets that sketchy feeling, and then it gets that. I love how it's just a different look, a different style almost to his looks.
Yeah. I do like that his civilian garb doesn't have the hood. It's just very businesslike.
Yeah.
But you know the hood is there. You know what I mean?
Like, it's there.
And that's a really easy signifier to let you know shit's going down. When the hood's there. So all of that. Next up, we're going to dive into our X-Men books. We got 4 this week.
Yes.
X-Court number 4. Written by Tini Howard, of course. Drawn by Alberto Foce. Colored by Sonny Go and lettered by Clayton Cowles. So the last issue... they were at the presentation thing where they're going to show off their new, energy generator, the ionospheric bandwidth generator, and someone sabotaged it. And basically, Mastermind used his powers to make it look like everything's working fine, which I was like, excellent. I this book is doing such an amazing job of making me really turn around on characters that I was very neutral to. I wasn't a big Mastermind fan. I prefer his daughters. They're better characters in my opinion. But I love him in this. And in this issue, we get the debut of Selene, who I actively disliked for a long time. You read New X-Men with me. You read the Wither issue.
That's right.
So that was a big reason why I didn't like her. And so... But she's in this. And so basically, she's there as well. And she's the one who ends up saving Monet. And in a very fun way. She's very, evil. And she pops the girl's telepathic inhibitor out and then shows her a true sign of hell, or true vision of hell, which is dope as fuck. So, and then, basically they're able to get the actual machine working and it, everything seems to be fine. It doesn't seem like anything's amiss to anybody else, but it was a real close call.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And then Warren calls a board meeting. And he's like, Trinary, can we have the room? She's like, and he's like, yeah, about that. You're not actually on the board. And Monet's not happy about this. But fucking Selene's on the board. They said that Trinary's criminal record is preventing her from being on the board.
Right.
But Selene murders people. Like she consumes the energy of people. Like that's fucked up. That's some bullshit.
What was it? I loved where is it? Jamie, we're just like, I actually don't want to see, so she can have mine. It's like, this isn't how that works. So they're talking about what are we going to do? This group that Fenris is working with, this other pharmaceutical company, they're going to keep fucking with us. What do we do? And Monet, being the awesome business person that she is, says, we make a deal. We buy them out. Basically, yes, those people are determined to take us down, but there are shareholders that owe more the company. We can buy them. And Monet's like, and she's describing what's happening. It's showing it happening. She's going to these guys. She's getting access to them. She's convincing them to sell their parts. She's not just erasing their brain and making them do it against their will. She's making them make the decision, including physically threatening one, which does, work, I suppose. And Angel's like, I don't like this idea. Let's put it to a vote. And then of course Angel loses. Everybody's in favor of Monet. And it's curious to point out that Selene is definitely a member of the board according to this. So so that's just a recipe for trouble. And he's like, all right, I'm outvoted. When do we start? She's like, oh, we already did it. I love Monet so much. Like, what if I had voted no? They're like, was it really going to happen? Like, so
And then Monet and Warren get in a fist fight, and she is able to get Archangel to come out, and that's cool. And then we're basically the bad guys attack Madrox's lab, and they seem to gun down Madrox Prime.
Yes.
Which I think is the first time we'll see Madrox Prime die on Krakoa.
Ooh, okay. So,
it's curious if there's other dupes still alive. How's that work? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm loving the corporate espionage of it all. I love the cast. It's a really fun cast.
I thought it was going to be one of like the weaker books, but I've actually been enjoying this book.
It's Madrox, man. Just Madrox.
Oh, absolutely. No, he's been the strongest point. Like all of his plot lines of like him taking this shit seriously when he gets pissed and being like, this shit fucking mattered, yo. And it's like
the last issue with his kid.
Oh, and then the whole kid bit. Yeah, no, it's like he's like really literally like the important part of this book.
He's literally the highlight of any book he's in for me. Like, I've never seen Madrox written terribly.
I'm starting to realize that, yes.
Yeah, he's just one of my favorite characters, period. So, all right, that takes us to Marauders 23. Written by Gary Dugan, drawn by Ivan Fiorelli, colored by Rain Barreto, and lettered by Corey Petit. So this is more follow-up to what happened after the Hellfire Gala.
Mm-hmm.
Emma basically being like, I should be feeling good, but someone had to kill the Scarlet Witch. They wrecked the Marauder. Our medicines are all fucked. We can't get them to people. And I love that it's her and Banshee again,
Sean, yeah.
Because I shipped this so fucking hard back in the day when they were teaching Gen X together. That was when she was still pretty evil. And I was like, he will redeem her. He will show her the good way. Like, young Keith was all about this shit. So.
He will fix her.
Yes, exactly. Now I obviously understand the problems there.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, oh, man. Like, I loved it. It was so great.
And also, for all of the, not for better, but for all of the worse, it was actually a pretty cool move that the Gen X movie also just, like, had them as the teachers.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Emma and Banshee.
Yeah. So, basically a couple different things happen in here. There's like a conflict over some of the medicines, which a team of Marauders show up for, which was Emma, Kitty, Lockheed, Tempo.
Yes.
Which we're very happy to see Tempo.
Absolutely.
And Jumbo Carnation. I love Jumbo. So it was cool to see him actually do something, like, besides make clothes, like... And I like the fact that they point out, like...
They make fun of him, and then he goes ape shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he has actual powers. Like, his power isn't making clothes. And I really like the fact that Tempo's featured. We do know that she didn't win the election.
Yeah.
For the X-Men. But they make a point of it. I'm trying to find it so I could read it. But they make the point that basically, yes, Tempo didn't win the election, but it's time for her.
Yeah.
Like, she could do this, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's really cool. And we also get the follow-up on Wilhelmina, the member of, what's it called? Verendi.
Mm-hmm.
The young Hellfire Club that the Cuckoos help. And we get a really cool follow-up on what happened with her and how she was damaged and stuff. And she quits Verendi, which is cool. So slowly but surely taking down their enemies. I'm really digging this. I know we talked about Marauders at the end of the gala, where it seems like this is an ending. And it was, because that group's just not together anymore.
Right.
But I kind of like this new direction too.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. I kind of like the open ending on Tempo. It's like, maybe not necessarily, maybe if this book doesn't really fit for her, she's probably just thinking about her own thing. Like, it wasn't like a for sure, like, yeah, sure, I'll be here next issue, as she's like thinking about it. Like, she saw all the crazy shit, and is like, you know what, maybe this path isn't for me, or this journey or what they do isn't for me. Maybe she'll join a different book, or maybe she'll think about it over and she will come back. But either way, I really like how they're actually starting to utilize her. Yeah, it is her time, like, pun intended, with her powers. I'm excited to see more of her.
One thing I think is interesting, and maybe this makes sense. For a long time, the X-Men book, during Krakoa, was the anyone can show up book.
Right.
But now it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a defined cast.
Yes.
I think Marauders is now the anyone can show up book.
Oh, I would like that. It is the adventure book too.
Yep. But, so that's what I think the role is going to step into. Because I think I mean, I loved the pirate stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Yes,
but that mutant pirates, there's only so many stories you can tell there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This opens it up, so I really liked it. So next up,
oh god,
we're going to talk about a number one,
the final two,
the Trial of Magneto, number one.
Fuck.
Josue, I got this baby.
Yes,
I got this baby,
I did get that one too,
and I got the Peach Momoko cover.
and that's the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, I actually reserved all these. They were all in my box.
Nice.
My buddy was like, all of them? I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And I do love that Peach Momoko one because like she's really kind of been rocking more like the portrait covers, and that's like more of a full body of Scarlet Witch. So I did like the whole design, but that other one, she's got such a gorgeous cover.
Yeah. All right. Should be pointed out before I go over the creative team, this is done in the spirit of X Factor. So this is still very much an X Factor book.
Yeah.
Although, we'll talk about that in a second. Written by Leah Williams, drawn by Lucas Wernick, colored by Edgar Delgado, letter by Clayton Cowles. I will say it is done in the spirit of X Factor. I do miss the X Factor art a little bit. Lucas is doing a perfectly fine job.
Oh, yeah.
But it had a very unique look, and we were so attached to that book. It's hard to see these characters look different right now.
A little bit, yeah.
In the same context, too. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Yeah, it doesn't feel right. But it's good. It's just different. So what made me very happy about this is it does open up with X Factor doing the X Factor thing.
Yes.
Like, the group is still very much together. They're still doing that. So that gives me hope they will pop up in future stories, regardless if they have their own book. You know what I mean? They still serve the same role.
I know that everybody's like just very much involved. It is a very heavy subject right now, but I love how peeved they are of like all the wandering eyes or all like everybody just being there. Like all the other teams that just have no business being there as they're conducting their investigation, and they're just like, do they have to be here?
Yeah. So basically they do the investigation into Wanda's death, and they determined somebody with magnetism did it. Someone in a white cloak with magnetism.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that points straight at Magneto. But long-term comic book fans will know that could be Exodus as well.
Oh.
Who leads the anti-pretender thing. Because he pretended to be Magneto at one point with fake magnetic powers.
He's also the one that's like that. Remember a while back ago, he was the one like taking like these kids and doing like the campfire and was actually speaking out like doing like these like pretender speeches. Yeah. Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah. So I think the Exodus thing is a fake. Is a fake out.
Okay.
I think we're supposed to think that.
Mm-hmm.
I was briefly worried, and this sounds ridiculous, but I was briefly worried it was Mercury.
Oh my god!
Because of the way it looked in that one shot where the metal's going around her wrists. It looks like liquid metal.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would Mercury kill Wanda? That doesn't make sense. Keith, shut up. So, basically, we're investigating it, and we have to have a vote as to whether Wanda will be resurrected, because she's not a true mutant.
Yeah.
But there is a backup for her.
Old backup.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Probably pre-House of X. I mean, not House of X. Probably pre...
House of M.
House of M, thank you.
Fuck. Like, a Wanda without that guilt, or not really like, okay, I can't go that far. I can't break that far. Oh, oof.
But it would also not have the self-control.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me. That was a cool tease. And they have a vote over it. And I was very surprised by the results of this vote.
Mm-hmm.
The only people in favor were Kitty, Kurt, and Magneto.
Yeah, basically Magneto.
Mm-hmm. Xavier was opposed. Emma was opposed.
Storm
was opposed. That's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of like, wow, this is brutal. So, I love that Kurt was for it, because of course Kurt was for it. He's the best person on the planet.
Yeah.
So, and then Magneto and Charles have a confrontation. X Factor's trying to arrest him, but we get a little tease also that Tommy went to go see her body.
Mm-hmm.
And it's covered in
Roots?
like plant life and roots of some sort.
Like
so
Krakoa is like absorbing her?
right?
Nurturing her?
I'm kind of curious as to what, because that might give us a tease as to what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
And then after they determine they're not going to resurrect her, we have to find out what happened. And the X-Men show up to tell the Avengers. We see Vision take it really hard.
Oh, because he notices the flowers too on the gates.
Yeah, that was it was Wanda's favorite flowers, and stuff like that. So that's another thing. She's being absorbed into Krakoa.
Oh god, yeah, fucking A. The flower. Oh my god, why would it trigger that way instead of just like, oh, she's dead? So yeah, no, why would it trigger that? Oh my god.
Yeah. So, and I love this. They're trying to fight Magneto, and he's fucking wrecking them.
Oh yeah,
which is great. And someone starts using magnetics, and he's like, attempt to use my powers against me. Thinks it's Hench, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, show yourself, Power Leech. And he's like, come out, face me like a man. And Polaris comes out, his daughter.
I hate this moment. I hate this next part.
It's so good. And they just have this fight, and she's like, you tried to break me. She talks about like all the broken women he's left behind in his life and stuff. He says, you killed her. And they're just about to stop him when all of a sudden he just starts getting punched in he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to him just getting the shit kicked out of him. And it's Pietro.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. And I love I always knew it would be you. I always knew it would be you who killed her. Just like you always talked about doing. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, this is intense.
Mm-hmm.
And so they finally capture him. They have him in the Healing Gardens. And the book ends in two things that just plucked at me. The first thing was the original Brotherhood of Mutants, except for Magneto and Wanda, which is Blob, Toad, Mastermind, and Quicksilver in the Green Lagoon, and they share a drink. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that nearly broke me. I'm not even joking. And then the other thing is, we see all this. What the fuck is happening?
Oh, I know.
Like, Wanda is like, I'm not dead.
In this ether.
I know I'm not dead. And then it's like there's plants everywhere. So yes, I mean, I assume she was absorbed into Krakoa.
Right. I mean, and like we see the White Hood figure with maybe the murder weapon, but the fact that she's like in white, and then from like the stab, then she starts getting like the Scarlet Witch look. Mm-hmm. Like what? It's all like symbolism, it's all metaphor. Like, what the fuck does it all mean? That last page was just like, where's she going?
Yeah.
Is she being absorbed through Krakoa so she can actually be rewritten as a mutant?
I thought about that.
Like a retcon on the retcon.
If Krakoa could make humans into mutants, that's a whole nother fucking thing.
Oh my god. They're children of the
just
atom.
Adds a whole nother layer to the Krakoa problem. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How will humans react when they find out that they can be changed into mutants? Some will want it. Some will want it destroyed. I mean, we see how hard they're trying to hide the fact that they can be resurrected right now, because I mean, humans will not take that very well.
Right.
So, fuck. Like,
yeah,
I cannot wait to see where this goes. Leah's got me hooked.
I know. I mean, like the last, there's like these ominous words, like I died, and yet I know I'm not dead. And then the actual last page are like these symbols, and then with just where am I? Like what? It's like, is this her test to run the head of X? You know.
We'll see.
But no, obviously it's a book that we've been waiting for. Like ever since it was announced, it's like, what the fuck is it all going to mean? And now like we're here, and this is huge.
Yeah. Speaking of huge, last book.
Yeah.
The Way of X #5, the finale of the mini.
And it's actually a great segue because it was because of how much I missed the artwork. I actually had to go with the variant because it's the X Factor artist.
Oh, David Baldian.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't see that variant. I want to get that now. Written by Cy Spurrier, art by Bob Quinn, color by Hava Tartaglia, letter by Clayton Cowles. Of course, I got the cover A, but I got my girl Loa.
Yes, I had to get it too.
And it's time for me to reveal to our audience I have spent more money on a single issue of a comic book this week than I have any other comic book except one instance. Whew. And that was when I bought the first appearance of Rogue.
Worth it.
I spent hundreds on that.
Wow.
I'll tell you that. but I got it signed by Chris Claremont and Michael Golden.
Amazing.
It's easily the jewel of my collection. I have certificates of authentication. It's perfect.
Great.
It's in great condition. It's going to get sealed. It's going to be on the wall.
Oh, that's great.
So, but I did buy the Virgin Loa cover, which ran me, I'll reveal, ran me just over $80.
Oh my God.
So
I saw it at my shop, like that one. Like the Virgin cover was like, fuck, 75. I got some picture, like, whew, buddy.
Yeah. I haven't received it yet. It's in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes in creased, I'm going to go to the store in Burbank, California, where it came from, and I'm going to beat the shit out of the people there.
Ooh, motherfuckers, yeah.
So, but anyways, let's talk about the book itself.
Yes.
So this is the conclusion of Nightcrawler's story, of him looking into the morality of Krakoa, examining the laws of Krakoa, working with Legion, discovering Onslaught. It's just so fucking good. So we're coming back when the Green Lagoon was destroyed.
Right.
And because the Zorns and Legion killed everybody there because they were all infected by Onslaught and they were about to attack. And Xavier confronts Legion, and in very non-Xavier way, like very aggressive, very emotional. He used to be like that, like in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
But that was right before Onslaught.
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh, he's kind of out of control. As of late, he's been really in control. Even when he's like does really questionable things, he does it really coldly.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like what about the whole what about her? You know, like he just stood there.
But this, he seems like genuinely angry, and emotional. And then we also have Nightcrawler with Lost and fucking Fabian Cortez.
Oh boy.
The biggest piece of shit in the world. And I love it because Nightcrawler has just had it up to here.
Mm-hmm.
Like so much shit has gone wrong in his life lately. And he's had to kill a copy of Legion with a gun. Like so much shit has happened. And he's like, you two fucking hate each other. Fine, here. And he does the whole Scorpion and the Frog thing. He teleports them into the atmosphere and drops them. And he's like, all right, you're falling to your deaths. Lost has gravity powers. She can slow your descent. Except you turned off her powers. So you have to turn off her powers and trust her that she's going to save you. It's basically like you have to trust each other. And it's just cool. Basically puts them in a moral quandary. You'll figure out the resolution of that yourselves. Read the book. But I absolutely love the Nightcrawler. When you diminish other mutants, when you harm them without their consent in body or mind, you're breaking the law, and I will judge you. Like, I was like, fuck yes. Kurt's finally lost it, man. And so that's when we get the big Onslaught reveal.
Yeah.
And yeah, really cool. And then we find out that Phobos, was it Phobos? Yeah, Phobos, the moon Phobos, above Mars, is falling onto Mars. And I love it because everybody's freaking out, except, of course, some of the Arakoans who are just like, bring it on, motherfucker! Like, I was like, yeah, that's the ones that were complaining, like, that the sand wasn't bad, like the sandstorm.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's the same ones. You know it is. So, basically, there's no way to stop it. No one's really that powerful that's there. And then Nightcrawler says, boost me.
Oof.
Overload me. I can do it. And he overloads Nightcrawler, and he fucking teleports to the moon.
He bamps the moon as it's falling into orbit. It's literally on fire. It's one of those, like, it's going to destroy Mars. And then 4 teleportations as it's clutching onto this piece of rock. He puts it back where it belongs. Amazing. I actually got emotional reading this because I knew he was going to die, but I know it's going to get resurrected. I know that. But
the problem is we found out that's how Onslaught gets in.
Yes.
The resurrection process.
Yeah.
And so when he dies, he comes back, and we get this eerie shot of all of them with the Onslaught things over them.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has been infected with Onslaught. And it's just like, oh. Like, the only person who hasn't is Cortez.
Yeah, but
It was a vegetable. And Lost hasn't been brought back. I don't see her there.
Yeah, not yet, no.
So are Cortez and Lost going to have to work together to stop Onslaught? Fuck.
Yeah, what'd you think of that moment where, like, at this point, it was going to be resting on Fabian? Like, it was heavy. It was like, why him? But of course, it would be like, how is he going to play that role?
I don't think it'll really rest on him. I think he will be the one to reveal it to somebody else.
Okay.
They're not going to make Fabian Cortez the good guy.
Uh-huh.
He's too racist. He's just too much. So, I think it's really interesting. I think we're going to have to figure out who. And also, remember how Quentin kept dying a bunch?
I was bringing him up. And
they made the bit about how he has time missing.
Oh, yeah.
It's because of Onslaught. They made that point. Onslaught takes little bits of you each time it resurrects you. That's fucked up, dude.
He was definitely the first one that came to mind. Like, damn, how dark. And he's like the one that's been like struggling with his own inner demons. And we had a whole arc about that. And now I guess like we just made more room for Onslaught.
Yeah, dude. Like, so crazy. So, really good.
Yeah.
Those last two books, especially Way of X and Trial of Magneto, just,
absolutely.
Just fucking great. I cannot wait. So, that's the end of our books for the week. Josue, you got anything else?
No, that was it. That was it for my books too.
All right, great. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on We Have Issues. We always appreciate having you here. To check us out, you can check us out on geekelitemedia.com. On Twitter, you can check us out at Geek Elite Media. The show itself is at WHI Podcast. I'm at WHI Podcast Keith. Our producer Liz is at WHI Podcast Liz. And Josue is at Josue Reads Josue. Make sure to check out our other show as well, Jukebox Vertigo, where we continuously make playlists based on random categories, usually with guests. Our next episode, at time of recording, is going to be 90s hip-hop, which is a very important episode for us because it's where we started. It's the first category we ever did. And my picks are not the same.
Ooh,
and I'm very excited.
Oh, nice.
And join us there. We're going to have some guests, hopefully, and a lot of fun, as always. So you can check us out at Jukebox Vertigo on Twitter as well. And again, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate you. And don't forget to geek out.
This concludes our broadcast.